And Jack got a review copy of the Transformers Visual History book.
Cool.
And reviewed it, so I'm going to stick that in the What's on T-Formers.
Oh, cool. I need to pick that up.
Why are all the things you pasted in bold red and the one I pasted in is normal?
I don't know. It pastes in... Are you pasting from the back end or the front page?
Front page.
Oh, I don't know. When I paste in, it pastes in like as it's formatted on the page. Then I go in and delete that, or clear the formatting.
Weird. I never have to do that.
I've always had to do that. I mean, since the site was redesigned a few years back, it's been bold and red. Before it was just bold and
weird.
Yeah. Bump, 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 bump. Okay, so the Twitch. There's Diecast.
Hey. What's going on?
Did you say we might have Jason tonight?
Jason said he would be here.
Okay.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
How do I sound?
Not bad.
Well,
Not bad.
Yeah,
I'm on AirPods, so I'm curious.
oh, well, that's surprisingly good then.
So, John,
Sound a little far away.
it's fine.
Well, I mean, it's the microphone's under my ear. It's by my earlobe.
Now I hear like a hospital noise or something. But like it sounds no different than when Diecast is at like an event or something.
Oh, okay. And it probably would sound a lot better too if I had both AirPods in. I only have my right ear in.
Gotcha.
So Nightwing was asking, can you tell the ship and who the captain was by its designation, which is NCC 80101. I
don't know. I don't know any 8 series ships. In all the stuff I watched, they only got up into the 7s.
So would that have to be 24th century, or is that something?
I mean, not necessarily, but, it could be.
I don't know how the designations work.
Well, they seem to work sequentially.
He's saying it's the Titan.
Okay, I didn't read any of those books.
Got a damn fine captain, though.
Do you think when he sits in his captain's chair, he swings over the back of it?
I don't know. He'd have to like grow extra length or something.
Not necessarily. I mean, remember the captain's chair on the Enterprise E wasn't too tall and had a big open space behind it.
Yeah, and like on the battle bridge on the D, it was a low seater, wasn't it?
But I mean, it's certainly possible.
It didn't happen in the show, obviously, and I don't know if it happened in any other novel, but I read the Discovery novel that's out there, the one about the Enterprise, and it splits off into the saucer section and the main body, or the battle whatever it's called.
Battle saucer.
I don't like it. That's a novel thing that the D did to me that the other Enterprise didn't do.
Like I guess some of the auxiliary material suggests that other starship classes are capable of doing that too, and it's not something new. That
Constitution class? That's just
I mean, theoretically, yes. It may not have been able to reconnect by itself afterward.
Yeah, I don't know that it did. I think they had to go through some sort of I don't know, effort to do it.
Yeah, I want to say that I read somewhere that it was at least discussed that the original Enterprise might be able to separate like that at one point. I'm not sure.
And I think there was like some implications in some of the episode dialogue, but nothing like really specifically pointing to what or how it would work. I think possibly in the Next Generation Technical Manual, which of course I have a copy of because everyone should within arm's reach.
Mine's not within arm's reach, but I have it.
I think when in the chapter where it talks about the Galaxy class separation ability, it makes reference to the older ships being able to do that as an emergency procedure, but then if reintegration would be possible, they would need like starbase facilities or other support systems to actually like put the ship back together.
Was that a
I
Clipper
just
ship?
want to put it out there. They copied off Transformers. They did it
Yeah.
first.
Was that a Clipper ship?
No, it's a starship.
Thank you.
Transformers did it first.
What did Transformers do first?
The ship separation.
God, 80.
It was-
Nobody gives. But it's different.
I'm going to
though, right?
say it was about simultaneous, actually.
Well,
really?
It came out a year before.
86 in both cases.
Yeah, I mean-
Next Gen was 87.
Yeah, Next Generation was 87, so the Enterprise did it a year later, but the Transformers movie script would have been written like 85 at the latest.
Yeah,
They
that's
started-
true.
I'm animating that. That's why, you didn't get most of the 85 toy line in the movie.
Yeah.
This is where we need a detective to go back in and find out if there was anyone who worked on both scripts. We
I
could
doubt
find if there was a
Well,
Commonality.
actually, not on the script, but Michael Bell was
Michael Space Nine once or twice too.
yeah. So Michael Bell was on Encounter at Farpoint,
There you
and
go.
of course, he was in. How long was he? Actually, was he in? I'm trying to think who he voiced in Transformers the movie that lived. Anybody?
Somebody lived through Transformers the movie?
Did Prowl get in line?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
But at the same time, Inferno has a credit in the movie, even though the Inferno dialogue was cut. So
Okay.
it's not possible that Prowl dialogue was recorded or scripted and just didn't make it to the final version.
Butter. I love that story. He had he was the classic Butter from the, what is it, Parquet ad.
Oh yeah.
The storyboard for the first Star Trek movie showed the Enterprise blow off its star drive. Okay, I didn't know that. Was that like, I wonder if that was actually used for like the first version of the movie before they went back and fixed it.
Well, it depends on which version of the script they were working from that day.
And thank you,
Fair enough.
Nightwing Numb, for reminding me that it's the star drive.
Yes, yeah.
All right,
And I'm not even joking about which version of the script they were using that day. Roddenberry and the other writer were literally sending out dueling rewrites every day.
Yeah, it's amazingly Revenge of the Fallen-like, except that somehow they still ended up with a coherent, if still hard to watch movie.
I'd say it's anti-Revenge of the Fallen because there were two writers instead of none.
Yeah, literally. Well, I mean, Michael Bay.
But the production crews don't know actually what they would be doing on any given day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I should just start taking credit for Revenge of the Fallen. I'm sure there could be an argument that I was a secret writer.
Okay. I mean,
If that's a burden you want to bear.
I guess if you have to interpret what's going on in the movie and you're writing the story in your own mind as you watch, that would qualify you in some strange way as a writer.
I'm just saying, if there was a movie I could write, I think that would be it.
Okay, so note to self, don't hire Diecast to write a movie.
Yeah, no one should ever do that.
Okay, now, so I think this is... Are we missing anybody who's going to be here? Is this it?
I think so.
Yeah, okay.
It seems like it.
I'm going to have to fix Diecast's video every single time he goes. It goes back to... No, you're fine. It's just that we only have...
Where am I going?
We only have 3 people. on the Skype video.
it's a
Of
light
course, I'm
day.
locally, so I can't merge that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't find. I guess I have too much stuff because I can't find things that I know I have. I thought it was on my desk.
There's Jason. Is that a members only jacket? No, it's not. That would be awesome if it was.
Skype is giving me no sound for some reason.
He can hear
Jason.
us anyway.
That's
Or
certainly enough to be able to contribute to a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Well, that's how Paladin did like half of superhero time.
True.
Okay.
Oh.
Go ahead.
Never mind. I'll put it in the chat.
Hopefully this isn't where it like goes over the screen.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Congrats,
Yeah,
John.
no, it's fine. Slightly premature on that, I think. But
Yeah, you got like a week and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a little more context further up in the chat and on John's Twitter for that. But
Oh, I read that wrong the first time.
Somebody said congrats to me in the chat, in the podcast chat. And I was like, not yet. I think they misunderstood your tweet that I retweeted.
I didn't misunderstand it.
No, I didn't see that. I saw what Rob said.
So I'm just letting him twist. I don't care.
I don't know if he knows that he's on or not. I hope he doesn't.
it's better this way, I guess.
No, I didn't know if we needed to
I love
talk
it.
about it.
Yeah, it's,
Continue. Keep going. Hey, I'm going to put my second AirPod in a second just to see if I sound better. I'm legit curious.
Okay.
All right, I'm going
Yeah.
on mute again.
I kind of am too. Are those the pros?
Yeah, well, it's like the Generation 2 ones.
Oh, the good one. It's my favorite.
Because the pros just came out. They're like $250.
Those are like the pros. There's like a standard kind, standard AirPod and AirPod Pros, and they put out the second generation of the standard kind. Those are the kind I have.
Okay.
this is all too complicated.
Yeah.
No, I sell them, so I understand.
On Taobao?
Well, I sell them at Staples. It's one of the few Apple products we actually sell.
You know, I'm actually now, I hate myself for it, but I'm actually using a pair of USB-C headphones because my phone doesn't have a headphone jack. And I don't hate it, but I really want to get like a nice like USB-C amp so I can power some decent headphones. But I just don't like Bluetooth. I just never have. I guess I should try out Bluetooth 5.
Yeah.
Get a pair of Bluetooth
Aren't they up
5.
to 6 now?
I only know of the...
Or 5.2?
I don't know. I've just never been a fan of Bluetooth headphones.
Bluetooth headphones never worked on my computer for some reason, but I haven't tried them since I got the new computer.
Yeah, I think this desktop actually has Bluetooth built into it. I think it's part of the chipset.
Yeah, I think mine does too.
Mine does, and mine's a cheap piece of crap. So if mine does, anybody should.
Yes,
But-
mine does.
mine's a little too old.
They started making it more common on laptops.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for
but
laptops.
desktops were kind of left behind on that.
Well, they need Kirk Cameron to go and find him.
But yeah, it does look like mine has Bluetooth, so that'll be interesting
It's weird
to try.
to me that my desktop has Wi-Fi. I mean, I just never. I guess I've always bought the motherboards that don't mess around with that because
Wi-Fi also.
like the gaming ones or the server boards. I used to run like server boards for like dual processor systems before, back in the day before we had multi-threaded or multi-core processors. So they don't mess around having Wi-Fi on it.
Yeah, didn't you say I'm running the same processor as you now?
Exact same one, yeah.
Yeah.
The 8700?
Yeah, the 6-core,
Yeah.
12-thread, i7. Yeah, and I was surprised. Even though the case is really small, my video card just fit. I mean, just fit.
Ooh, entertaining tweets, Jamie says. I can do that.
And then, of course, I threw my solid state drive in it too, so it is fast.
Yeah. I think this one has an NVMe SSD. No, it's a laptop. It's an NVMe. No, I know. I'm definitely running a PCIe. I don't know if it's a PCIe NVMe or not, but it's a PCIe SSD. So it's much faster than the old one that I was running, the SATA 6 or whatever it was.
Oh, so Nightwing number 1 says I need to get the Eagle Moss collection. So let me tell you about the Eagle Moss collection. I have, I ended up getting, I think, 4 different ships from that. Well, not all different ships, but I ended up getting 4 ships from that, and I did not get one of them that I did not know had a defect on it immediately. And when I say defect, I'm using that as quite a wide range. So I got a Defiant, which had a very crooked nose. It also came with an Enterprise D in the same shipment, and that came with the engine nacelles detached.
Oh.
So I wrote back to Eagle Moss about that, and they sent me replacements at no charge. I didn't even really ask for replacement on both of them. I think I just wanted the Defiant replaced because that's the one I actually technically paid for and cared about, and the Enterprise came as a bonus. Regardless, though, they sent replacement ships. The second Defiant still had a crooked nose and worse paint. And the Enterprise replacement they sent was the movie Constitution refit instead of the Enterprise D.
I like that ship better.
So, then the D or the regular Constitution?
Well, I mean, I like it better than the D, I think.
I mean, fair enough. The point is, though, I've had my dealings with Eagle Moss, and I am thoroughly unimpressed.
Is it just me, or is Chris's audio really screwy?
It's glitchy. I thought
A little bit.
I've been paranoid whether or not it's the gate, but it's definitely Skype.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure it's Skype. Your video's messed up too, or it was.
I can turn some knobs down.
You sound a little better now.
Your video.
Okay, then it's probably. Yeah, well, I don't think there's anything I can do about that.
No, it's. I was just worried because of new computer setup. I was worried it was something on my end.
Oh,
I prefer your end.
Diecast, your video's messed up.
Is it?
It's swirling around, and your audio is just horrible. It's just you're. Oh yeah, something. Yeah, totally wrong.
Why is he green?
Hasn't he always been green?
Yeah,
I
got a
was
little
cooking
bit.
Thanksgiving dinner.
Uninstall
And I
McAfee.
ate some of it.
So we got. I've never had a pressure cooker. So we got.
Pressure cooker's great.
Oh yeah, it's amazing. So we got the Ninja Foodie because I thought it was gonna be this revolutionary thing. It's literally just a pressure cooker with an air fryer attached to it, basically.
Sounds like
it's But God, like I've got a ham I've got to make for Thanksgiving tomorrow. The cook time 7 minutes.
Wow.
It's absurd. I made like a turkey breast, like a 8-pound turkey breast in like 10 minutes. It's just ridiculous. Don is not here.
I think that's a little faster than my pressure cooker, but of course I got like the $40 model at Aldi when it was marked down to less than that, so, you know.
Well, I mean, it's got to build up the pressure too, so I'm not counting that time in.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, that thing has been incredibly useful, especially in summer when we don't really want to be running ancient gas cast iron stove.
Oh God, though. I bet that's amazing though. You can probably do great things with it.
Oh, you can. It's showing its age.
I would love to have gas. Go ahead.
One of the burners barely comes on, and the other kind of just gets set immediately to volcano. It's kind of a thing.
I'm sorry, I did not know that was going to continuously make noise.
It's cool.
Nightwing says he Eagle Moss stuff from Amazon, Big Bad, and eBay. Yeah, probably if I was going to get another Eagle Moss ship, I would want to get through a third party where I, trust the customer service.
Is there any place you can actually buy those that you could see them in person before you bought?
I mean,
McKay's.
like a comic book store might carry some, but the selection would be random at that point.
Yeah.
Plus, they're not really made for like on the shelf sales.
Mm.
It's like the Time Life
the-
cassettes, right? It's a subscription gimmick.
I mean, theoretically, yes. Like technically, it's a magazine subscription, and I think the ships are sort of counted as premiums. Except you can go on Eagle Moss's website and just buy the ships.
Can we hear you now, Jason?
I'm glad to see Skype is still hot garbage since the last time I used it.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Well, it's probably mad that you haven't touched it in a while.
Well, yeah, that would be fair, I guess. I restarted it. It still didn't work right away, but then eventually just started. So
Who's on my
whatever.
shirt? Charles Nelson Riley. I wore those to the TFCon.
Okay.
And somebody like stopped when we were getting ice cream, and the guy just on the street talked to us for like 5 minutes about it, and like, what's the odds that somebody would walk by who knows who that is? I'm like, pretty good considering he was famous for decades.
They still run episodes of Match Game. He's on the Game Show Network pretty constantly.
Yeah. Now, what would be unexpected is if somebody else was wearing a Charles Nelson Riley shirt. That would be
Yeah.
I was surprised he was so excited about this shirt.
Rodimus Supreme asks, "Who's Charles Nelson Riley?"
He's a youngin' though. He's a young fellow.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know either Rodimus Supreme, so don't feel bad.
I feel like people in our age bracket are most likely to know, but Diecast kind of, proves the exception to that.
He's also a little younger, and honestly, I know him through reruns because like Match Game was big with him on it like before I was born. So
Yeah.
Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. No Don, no Matt.
So, is there any way we can convince Matt that the new episode of that one episode of Star Trek is Bride of Chaotica, or does he already know what it is?
He knows what it is because he was on it.
Yeah, I was about to say, as far as I know, he's on it. I remember Chris talking in code, like, during the show about it, or pre-show.
All that code.
You're like, that thing we're doing Monday. Like, can you be there?
I figured it was something like that, but
I mean, I didn't really think that was super secretive since I felt like it was common knowledge that when I do a podcast, it ends up getting recorded on Monday.
Yeah.
Still hasn't come through on my on my podcast app yet, though.
Oh yeah, I need to resubscribe to that. Dude, I keep my except for my stuff that I haven't updated. I keep my podcatcher pretty up to date. Do. So
I mean, I don't know if there's a lot of point in resubscribing since there's not going to be any episodes.
So actually talking about I don't remember if we had a feed for it or not. I think we did. So one thing when we do the Patreon thing, I am going to do a now I'm talking about something different. I'm going to do a monthly, if not bi-weekly, episode or podcast of RFC throwback, where it's like old school style RFC. It may not be. I don't think I'm going to gimmick it up and pretend like I'm recording it in like 2002. But I want to do like a show that's basically just me doing stupid stuff that I can't do on this.
I thought that was the Happy Daily.
Well, I mean, it's not, but it's going to just be me. It's not be like me in character. Like stuff that I want to do, like the Bad Poets Corner, or maybe go back and do some of the news from Cybertron and stuff like that. I want to do that as a, or if I want to have the computer come on and kill everybody. Sadly, Don's not here to gush.
Yeah, you should put that away until Don's back.
I know. I just figured I didn't open the box yet, so I figured I'd take a look.
You can still return it.
Traded it to Iron Force.
Yeah.
It like I said, it's kind of neat to have one that transforms because I never had one that transforms.
Oh yeah.
How tall is that? About a foot when you unbox it? It's gonna be the size of the other one, right?
Yeah. and they'll look good next to each other. So I've already seen people have photos of them
I'll be honest.
posed next to each other.
I have a Tuesday morning knockoff of, I guess, one version of, I don't guess it's the original, but a Tuesday morning knockoff of a Vehicle Voltron. That's actually really nice.
Really?
Yeah, I paid like $5 for it, and I love it. It's the far and away the best one of those that I have.
I think like 15 years ago, Kmart regularly had a knockoff of that too.
I've got it. It was, as far as I can tell, it's the original mold, except with all of the die-cast removed, and of
Oh,
course
really?
not in the original colors.
Okay, I mean, I didn't know if it was I assumed it wasn't the original, but that's good.
I'm almost certain it is.
It's solid. It's super
certainly-
solid.
Yeah, it certainly looks like the like Bandai robot molds from that era. So I'm pretty sure it is.
Jared's asking if there's any plans to bring back RFC Rewind or Transformers Rewind. Yeah, actually, I do want to do that. Honestly, that show is kind of evergreen. I should just go in and like post it, like, on repeat. But I'm actually thinking about making that one a gimmick, a Patreon gimmick. I'll share more of that later, but I'm thinking about making that a gimmicky one. So I would love to do that one. What was that, Chris?
I said, speaking of later, it's almost showtime.
It is almost showtime.
I love Rewind.
Hey, how
we,
do I sound?
We talked about
I got
that
both in
before.
my ears.
You sound good. I mean, I wouldn't like stay.
Do I sound any different?
No.
No, it's the same with both in my ears.
It's fine. I mean, I wouldn't want you doing
I mean,
this
I'm
every
not-
week,
I'm
but
not
it's
going
fine.
to be on the show per se. I'm just curious.
If you need to chime in, it's not. It's
You guys
not,
have higher standards than people on a
You-
conference call at work.
yeah,
so-
absolutely. Oh God, yes. I don't want dogs barking throughout this.
This is more superhero time level.
That actually sounds.
Okay.
That's actually a good description for it. It sounds like a work conference call.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I can
Alright.
see that.
Yeah.
All right, fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, I was going to say that you actively sound better than Don did when he used that USB headset.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now, somebody, I forgot who it was. It may be in the chat, and I'm not like upset or whatever about it. But like Don, somebody made a comment recently about Don's microphone being horrible. Don has a great microphone, actually. What Don doesn't have is a great environment to talk in,
Yeah, yeah.
Or great internet.
or great internet. Hey,
Yeah.
Jason, what have you turned off? Leave it off if you don't mind. You just turn something
Yeah,
off
yeah.
because it throws up a prompt in my Skype. It throws off your video because it says it's warning me that you're like recording or something.
Yeah, no problem. I shut it down as soon as it came up. So
So I'm thinking that the RSC throwback will be Patreon exclusive, like maybe for a month or two. Rewind, the gimmick is going to be, I'm thinking about, that's going to be one where if you're a certain tier, I might, with some, extra considerations, like invite people on that are patrons. So
If you spent enough tier, you probably won't even have to have much considerations.
no, well, I mean, I want somebody to have a decent microphone and a decent camera, but that's probably one where I'm thinking about gimmicking that one up. But that would make the feed actually available to everybody.
So
That's
Sean
a
is
great idea.
if Patreon can be a day other than the first for the payments to process, and that's not something that people can control. That's
I have
just
no idea.
how Patreon works.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
that's
all
when they process, as far
started
as I
on
know.
the First day of the month.
Yeah.
Unless you go by a per post billing system, then
Yes.
the would be whatever day you post something, and that has other weird qualifications and conditions on it too. But Patreon day is the first, and that's just how it works.
I want to make the any kind of rewards really more podcast centric. One of my favorite podcasts is dumping all of their physical rewards. Not that I was on the tier that got any of them, and I don't want to like make it a tremendous amount of extra work. I do want to have like one physical reward, at least for a while, because I'm just obsessed with the idea. But depending on how that one goes, we may or may not drop it, but we'll see. Yeah, Jared.
Is
that's
that where
exactly right.
they let me crash in their hotel for a night at NETF Con?
Yeah, sure.
I'm
Oh, actually,
joking.
that's a great idea. That's a great idea. Have Don stay with you at TFCon. You have to pay all the hotel fees. I'm glad that one thing that's good about Don having a girlfriend is that he no longer wants to room with anybody.
Girlfriend.
Maybe
Anyway,
a reduced price shirt. I thought about that too. I don't know how to do that. That would be up. I don't know that. I don't think that's probably something we'll do.
Yeah, for t-shirt thing, like we would have to get a run of t-shirts made and fulfill them ourselves.
And everything's on demand, and I like the service John uses, except for the fact that they haven't been forthcoming with actually taking his updated designs. But
Yeah,
I mean,
that's such a shame. I wanted my RC Reviews t-shirt.
Well, if we end up changing t-shirt platforms, that could still happen.
I hope we don't. I mean, we have the biggest, or one of the biggest t-shirt platforms in existence, at least in the U.S.
Okay, but they won't take any new designs.
Well, John's working. They're doing upgrades, I think, is the thing. They're replatforming
For a year and a half?
Yeah, well,
How long ago
They're
did John
they're
commit, though?
rebranding and such.
Okay.
In any case, t-shirts for Patreon is a whole different logistic issue.
Yeah, I want to avoid physical stuff as much as possible.
T-shirts are just hard too because there's so many different sizes.
Yeah.
Oh, if you're doing it as a Patreon reward, there's ways to account for that, but that's a different conversation.
Let's start this show. Am I recording Skype? I am. Let me start it over. I've done so much recording this week at editing and recording.
It sucks, doesn't it?
Yeah. And the whole level of crap is when you're doing music, because you're recording the same thing over and over and over and over and over and over. And then you have to, I do multi-track and layer them all on top of each other and try.
And eventually you want to die.
Yeah, and especially when you have a 7-year-old singing up on the housetop, and she messes up every word. It's great. Okay, let's do this.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, 3, 2, 1. Hey, happy Thanksgiving or whatever you celebrate. If you don't celebrate anything, happy Wednesday. I'm Brian Kilby. Yes. Awkward silence. Awkward silence. Hey, here, yeah, Jason's here. Look at that. Jason!
Yes, the reports of my death are greatly exaggerated.
Oh, okay. Well,
Not greatly.
yeah. Diecast is here.
I am.
Chris.
Yeah.
Rob.
Hi.
And maybe not John DeLuna, who is in a hospital room right now. I don't know if, he's going to chime in, but he's here listening. His beautiful voice might light our darkest hour through this next hour that we spend with you.
50% chance.
Okay, cool. Hey, so a lot of stuff going on this week. So I kind of wanted to talk about. I kind of wanted to talk through some different stuff. We have a few news items, but I wanted to be a little different. I figure this being the Thanksgiving episode, being topical with news isn't that big of a deal because either tons of people will listen to it on Thursday, or it'll sit in your podcast feed for a couple weeks. So I think we're just going to freestyle a few things today. Again, we have a couple news items, but I did really want to talk about a couple of things. First, though, Chris, that one episode of Star Trek, episode 101, what happened?
I don't know. I woke up Tuesday morning and found this podcast recording on my hard drive, and for some reason I was on it. I have no idea what happened that night. I may have been kind of drunk. But you'll find in your podcast feeds or on tfradio.net today, there is a new episode of that one episode of Star Trek where we talk about Encounter at Farpoint. Me and Hey Mickey and Matt was there with us, and Moloth, Scott was also on. So we did that, and it's out, and if you want to ruin your Thanksgiving, that's certainly an option for you.
So,
Well, now that you did 101, you have to go to 200 because you have to stop on an even number in the hundreds.
It's 101 for file name continuity reasons. Officially, it's Superhero Time presents that one episode of Star Trek special.
Ah, so
So
it's not actually okay.
Loophole.
Yeah.
So why Encounter at Farpoint?
Because it's been almost 2 years since we did an episode of that one episode of Star Trek. So if anybody new is coming into this and sees that and isn't super deep familiar with Star Trek, or was not a follower of the full run of the podcast, it's a very accessible episode for someone to just kind of jump in with. Also, it's hilariously bad. So that gives a lot of meat for a podcast.
But I'm forgiving of that, though.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. There's no reason not to be forgiving of it given the circumstances.
It's not
but
Threshold.
it's not easy to make fun of.
Threshold, though, you can't forgive.
Oh no, you shouldn't forgive Threshold.
No, but Counter and Farpoint at least features Michael Bell.
Yes.
So there's that.
Yeah, we made a point of that.
We talked about that in pre-show.
I also made a point in the podcast to talk about how when they recut Encounter at Farpoint for syndication, taking it from a feature-length episode to 2 regular-length episodes, they improved it so much by what they removed for time.
Mm.
Unfortunately, when we recorded the episode, I hadn't brushed up on the production background of the episode, and a lot of the stuff that we were talking about with how it's put together makes so much more sense when you find out how the writing and even a little bit of the filming actually ended up happening.
So I'm thinking back to Encounter at Farpoint. I'm sorry to make this diversion, but we haven't had an episode in 2 years.
And we won't for another 2 years.
Yeah. So
No promises.
I forgot. Did they edit out Riker's quasi? Was it that episode where he was kind of quasi? I don't want to say racist, but specious isn't the right word either when it comes to Data.
They didn't edit that out. So, in the feature-length episode, there is a scene between Picard and Beverly in her office. And they removed that entirely. And it contributes nothing to the episode. If you only ever watched the 2-part version, you would never know that was missing. When Riker is watching the clip show of the first episode during the first episode, they trimmed that down tremendously, and they cut out his 10 or 20 second long reaction shot at the end of that. It's just it's a lot of qualitative improvements just by removing some things that were filling time in the first place.
Now that we're talking about bringing Star Trek podcasts back, will Wrestling on the Edge of Forever come back, Jason?
No.
So at least I don't have to hear about Orange Cassidy, every week anymore. So that's good.
I do miss hearing about Orange Cassidy every week.
I don't.
Well,
I don't.
You're a terrible person. I don't know what else to say.
The shortest version of why Encounter at Farpoint is the way it is because when they were planning it and even writing it, they could not decide if it was going to be a 2-hour episode, a 90-minute episode, or a regular length episode.
Interesting. Oh gosh, 60 minutes? That's crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, I look forward to listening to that tomorrow. So,
So Roddenberry went back through it after DC Fontana wrote most of it and started adding things. So it was almost a Star Trek: The Motion Picture all over again.
So it's not that I want to encourage people not to subscribe to that feed, but it may never see another update. So if you want to listen to it, tfradio.net, it's on the website. You can listen to the website. It's mobile sensitive or mobile aware or whatever the word is. You can listen
Friendly.
Mobile friendly. You can with my phone I can queue it up, listen to it through the website and pause it and unpause it from my lock screen. So if you don't want to resubscribe, just go to tfradio.net. Look for it on Twitter at tfradio or on Facebook. So that's cool. Don, if you notice, Don isn't here and Matt isn't here. Matt is having an issue with his electricity not working. I haven't had my power's not gone out in years. It's just something that doesn't happen anymore. But there's strong winds and Matt's power's down. So
the power out here earlier this afternoon, and I think it killed one of my USB ports.
Oh, that sucks. Oh no. That sucks.
Well,
How's he going to
So-
cook his turkey?
oh no.
deep fryer.
Yeah, if he has gas, I mean that would work too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flamethrower.
Yeah, flamethrower.
A broken USB port is better than what I initially thought it was, where I thought another one of my hard drives had gone.
Ugh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Which
But-
probably means I should take the time to back up some of the stuff off of this hard drive just in case.
I'm mentally debating on whether or not to mention why Don's not here. I'm not going to because I think, just the mystery is more fun. But it's a very Don reason why he's not here.
The mystery of Donvoy.
It's the mystery of Donvoy. It's wonderful. It is pretty wonderful. So Don, good luck. He's not gonna for the same reason he's not going to be here next week. So at least that's what he told me today. So when we come back in a couple weeks, Don will have to give us an update. So
That should be interesting.
yeah. Hey, so we've had
This
some people.
is the way.
It is the way. We've had some people who have been participating in our Elf on a Shelf Warmer toy drive. Basically, find a toy drop-off box, find a children's home something, and drop off a new toy. The children's home will probably let you drop off like a gently used toy. But Toys for Tots, they want you to drop off a new toy in the box. Drop it off, take a photo, post it to Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, and we will eventually reshare it. Again, so just do that and use the hashtag Elf on a Shelf Warmer. And if you want to see what everybody else has donated so far, just do that. I dropped off something last week, and my kid, my 7-year-old, who, again, she's a foster kid, soon to be adopted, and she was probably the recipient of something like this. We told her that the toys were going to go help a kid who was in a home like she used to be before she came to live with us, and it made her so happy and so excited to give. So help out a kid in need. Go to Twitter, go to Facebook, Instagram. Just look for Elf on a Shelf Warmer, that hashtag, all one word, share. It'll help out a kid in need. It's going to be pretty awesome. What else? Let's see here. Oh, yeah. But Don, he posted on Twitter this past week that his landline phone finally died. And he's not here to participate, but I think that we should have a moment of silence for the loss of Don's landline.
Should we play taps or?
I think we just...
The opposite of a moment of silence, diecast.
It's good enough, though. I think that was the moment of silence right there. I think that's pretty much it. So, Don, your landline is in our thoughts.
Goodwill to get an emergency replacement phone.
Yeah, he probably went to Goodwill. You know, it's funny. I mentioned this recently on Twitter, at BKilby, by the way. I went to Walmart, and Walmart had a much, much, much larger selection of landline phones than Transformers or even Power Rangers. actually, most Hasbro products, other than like Nerf. Walmart has tons of landlines, so if you need one, you can just go there. They're more popular than Transformers.
Yeah, if you
That
need a
makes me
cheap
sad.
one, Beth, go to Dollar General.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah. Gosh. Hey, I mentioned before, I keep plugging this, we're going to do a Patreon. Don't have a firm date yet, but we have all sorts of ideas. We're going to have some exclusive podcast material, ways that you can get on one of our podcasts. We'll have that as a Patreon offer. So I'm expecting probably around the beginning of the year. But we'll be working on that, so keep that in mind. What? Oh. So normally I would save this plug until the end of the show. But you have no idea how many people drop off. So I want to make sure this is heard up front. My fourth Christmas album will be published sometime next week, the first week of December. It is called Apples, Chickens, and Christmas. I'm very excited.
It's great.
Yeah, I'm very excited. So if it's like all my other albums, it'll be available for free because I can't charge for this. I mean, I literally can't charge for this. So it's definitely worth checking out. Let me actually pull up the cover real quick, and I'll show it for the people watching the video. If not, again, just go to my Twitter. You can see it. But so See if it'll show this. Yep. Apples, chickens, and Christmas. Pretty excited. I've been spending tons of time editing and re-editing and re-recording. And
that's why we didn't have a podcast month this podcast month.
oh yeah, it's ridiculous. But I hope to have this
Christmas album.
Yeah, we've not done the National Podcast Posting Month in a long time. Maybe we'll do it next year. But
I think once.
Yeah, we did it once. So maybe we'll do it again next year. Who knows? But yeah, my Christmas album will be available at my website, briankilby.com. Again, it'll be like probably midweek, the first week of December. Don't have a firm date. But as always, you can find us on Twitter at TF Radio. I will share it there, or on Twitter at bkilby. Or if you actually just want to go to and like the Facebook page for the podcast, it is facebook.com/Happy Day in Wilkes. So Happy Day in Wilkes, one word, facebook.com/Happy Day in Wilkes. I will share it there. I'll probably also share out individual tracks as they're done. So that is coming up next week. Yeah, that's everything I wanted to get out of the way. Did anybody get anything this week? I have no idea.
Yeah.
I didn't update this. So who was that? Rob?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rob, go ahead. Tell me what you got.
Okay, I got a few things. First up, thanks to Greg, who sent me Dragon Ball Z Volume 2 off of my Amazon wish list.
Nice.
And I just need Volumes 1 and 5, and I've got the Z part of things done. Also picked up Impactor and Mirage. I would like, again, just as everybody else has said, I really would like Mirage a lot better without the clear plastic. I don't know who decided that the central block that the entire back end plugs together with needed to be made of clear plastic, but no, it did not. It absolutely didn't. Otherwise, it's a nice toy, and yeah, if they ever make one that doesn't have that, I will probably pick it up. Impactor I like. He is pretty much what I kind of expected, which is he is a big pile of rectangles because he is based on a G1 Marvel comic character. But he's pretty bulky for a deluxe figure. He's got decent accessories, and I like the transformation, which reminds me of Generations Dark Mount a little bit. It's a pretty solid figure. Other than that, thanks to Chris, I got a replacement for my Titans Return Chrome Dome, which I messed with that so much that the headmaster brackets on my original are threatening to break. So I've got a replacement for that. And I also have Spinister, which that's a really nice figure. Yeah, I really like that. It took me a little bit to get the transformation just right. You really kind of need to have, among other things, the hip joints pointed in the proper directions for everything to line up properly, but just everything tabs together so nicely and closely that it just really does feel good in both modes and looks great. And it has the best collapsing rotors I've ever had on a helicopter transformer.
Where did you get it? Walmart?
Yeah. Got it from Chris. I'm not sure where Chris got it.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
I've been driving far and wide to find that, and still empty-handed.
Well, except for when you were driving far and wide to find the ape face you already had.
This is true. I was looking for Ape Face last night that I already have and complained about last week.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everything I got this week, so.
Cool. Who's next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
So yes, I also have Spinister, which makes sense since I sent Rob one, and I probably wouldn't send Rob one if I didn't have one for myself because I'm an ass like that. But yeah, everything Rob said about Spinister is 100% correct. This is probably my favorite Siege toy from the entire line. Now, with the caveat, I have not actually handled the Voyager Optimus Prime. But I can't imagine that topping this just for like overall feel and how the execution played out. So like I would say the one real complaint I have of it is the extra cockpit that hangs underneath the helicopter. But to have a helicopter cockpit on both legs to match the G1 package art, I don't know what else they could have done. Because there's not even room in the helicopter body to turn the cockpit upside down and like hide that part of it up in the structure. It has to hang underneath, and if that's the worst problem it has, like I think that's a good sign that it's doing pretty well. The transformation, I love the way the torso transforms because there's like this accordion thing going on with it, where like the chest and the head and the helicopter tail mast all kind of roll out and expand or contract depending which direction you're going with them, and it's like really elegant. It's really hard to picture in your head how it's working, but when you're doing it, it all just kind of flows together and works. It feels really good. It's fun to watch happen. And yeah, the helicopter tabs together super solidly. The articulation is really good on this. It has like the best ankle articulation range of any Siege toy so far because it's got two ankle rockers because of how it transforms, and the toes can point. So like there's a lot of range of posability with that. The knees bend really deep, even though they're single hinges. And if you want them to go farther, you can open the back panel on there, and they'll just kind of they're able to collapse up a little bit more that way. This one has really good tolerances on all the joints too, where like it can stand on one leg and do a high kick with no outside support. And of course, it's beautiful, beautiful late G1 Decepticon colors, and there's really no complaining about that. And to elaborate a little bit on the collapsing helicopter blades, so like they will stay up in the V by themselves and they don't go anywhere, and it's really clever how they did that. There's a little fin on the tail mast in the middle of it that sticks through the back plate, and it catches on a notch that forms when you raise the rotors up into that V position, and it holds them there. And when they're not like that, they spin perfectly freely. It is like the most simple but most clever thing. It really is the best collapsing helicopter blades I've ever seen on a Transformer or anything else that does the collapsing thing like that. Like I can't say enough good things about this because it is just such a good deluxe. Like this is the justification for the $20 price point right here. There's nothing I can really hold against it.
Isn't it actually Voyager size too?
I mean, if you're gonna if you were to say that, then the Ironhide mold you'd have to say is Voyager size too. It's the same head height on them.
Okay.
Because of the way it's engineered, it's a slimmer build. Like there's obviously more volume to the Ironhide mold than there is to Spinister, but like there's not a shortage of parts for that. It's just it arranges all of its mass in a little bit different way. Crosshairs here is also really good. It's only a head swap from Ironhide. There's no other physical changes. I mean, the leg panels don't fall off at the slightest provocation, so they did fix that. And Ratchet is better about that too. But like the colors are very vibrant, and the layout is good. It's really nice. The tolerance could be a little bit better. Nothing's falling off, but the joints are just a little bit looser than I'd like. But overall, I'm really happy with this, a lot more than I thought I would be. This was one where, like, when I saw Amazon had it knocked down to like $17 pre-order, I was happy because, like, oh yeah, I'm much better not paying the full $20 for that. Well, then I went and found it at Walmart and paid the full $20 for it, and I still feel okay with it. It's really good. And then that brings us to Astro Train. I'm conflicted on Astro Train a bit. So, like, even leaving off the cargo container, the launch pad, the extra accessory package, I don't think this would be able to sell as a $30 toy. It feels heavier to me than Ape Face, and I think it probably does a little bit more than Ape Face because, like, no one of the modes feels like it really loses out for the sake of any of the others. So the engineering is a little bit tighter on it. But at the same time, it's not particularly remarkable. And the train mode does have one weird quirk where the front nose of the train, it's so okay. For the vehicle mode, the shuttle front end and the train's front end are the same piece, and you just flip them around for whichever mode you're going to use. So that leaves the front of the train narrower than the rest of the train body a little bit, and they put two little train wheels underneath the nose of the train on that narrower bit. But then all the rest of the wheels running along the sides are wider. So, yeah, that wasn't thought through particularly well. The transformation for Astro Train was a little bit, I don't want to say harrowing, but there's some spots in here where things feel like they're bending before hinges kick in, and I don't like that a lot. And there's painted surfaces where I'd rather them not be also for how things are having to move. Like, I feel like there could be some scraping issues over the course of time with it. But like, all the modes basically come out fine. The robot mode is very boring to look at because it is just gray on the front and all purple on the back. And there's not like a whole lot of variation between those. And one thing that disappointed me, where the promo pictures had what looked like, instead of the normal like silver scrapes for the battle damage, it looked like burn marks from re-entry or something. It's just the silver scrapes on the actual produced toy, so that's kind of a letdown.
But is it the best Astro Train we've ever gotten?
You know, I'm really fond of the Classics Astro Train from 2006.
Okay.
But like, for something that actually looks like the cartoon pretty well in all three modes, yes, this is the best on that score. I don't think anybody's really taking Titan's Return Astro Train into consideration. My big problem, though, overall, is that where, you know, with Ultra Magnus, you have the armor, which is an integral part of the character. It makes sense to have that be executed the way it was. With Shockwave, the extra parts that make the big battleship mode, and then the goofy extra arms and stuff for the robot, like, that works in its own way. And again, even with Galaxy Optimus Prime, like, the upgrade parts, you understand and expect that because of what it is. Astro Train's extra stuff doesn't feel like it integrates with the toy. So, like, in train mode, you can attach that cargo pod, and it sort of looks like a coal tinder or something. And you can set up the launch pad, sort of, because even that, it won't lay flat because the hinges are that black nylon that often has kind of a gummy reaction. So all the panels won't lay quite flat. So that doesn't even look as good as was presented. But, like, yeah, you can have the shuttle mode standing upright on that thing looking like it's waiting to blast off. But outside of that, there's nothing it can do to interact with the shuttle mode. And for the robot mode, you can take it apart a little bit and have little tiny platform shoes that raise them up like a quarter of an inch, and then have a weird, like, open plan backpack that you stick on the back. But, like, it all feels really extraneous and tacked on. It doesn't seem like there's much thought to actually making it be part of the toy. The big bunch of weapons that it comes with, I don't mind having the extra guns. That's fine, but, like, that certainly doesn't constitute taking, like, a higher-end Voyager-sized figure. This could not sell as a Voyager by itself. I just want to be clear about that. I'm not saying that this should have been sold as a Voyager as is, because it wouldn't budget out. I just know, feeling it and handling it, that's not possible. But, like, what there is does not feel like it makes up the value difference to go up to the leader price point. So Astro Train's not terrible, but it certainly is the most disappointing leader toy from this line, and overall I think is just kind of like an average Siege toy.
Okay, cool.
And I think that's all I got.
Diecast?
Okay. First, I want to show off something that's not Transformers related, but I'm using it for Transformers. I never thought, as a Transformers fan, I'd start to accumulate a pin collection, but apparently getting a lot of Transformer stuff, I now have a pin collection going.
Nice.
And I got this holder for my pins where I can, plug them on and hang them on the wall. So it just has a little hook back here, and I got it all dfradio.com/Amazon. And it's like,
either works.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
dfradio.net/Amazon.
And was that a Voltron Lion key in the bottom right corner?
Yes, it is.
That's what I was trying to ask.
Nice.
Nice.
And that's one of the things I was saying. I know I have this. This is the 35th anniversary Megatron pin from New York Comic Con, I believe. I know I have the Optimus Prime pin also, which is from San Diego Comic Con. I just can't find it. So I'm just going to hang this on the wall, and when I come around it, when I happen to find it, I can put it in there too. So
yeah.
Actually need something to display my pins in, but yeah, Transformers has definitely touched a little bit of everything.
And if you don't have pins, I'm sure that would work for merit badges as well.
Or like Paladin was saying in the chat, like it looks like you'd put your Pokemon gym badges in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. This was a shock to me. I got the Green Hornet, but I got it in the yellow version. He is super tiny. Like, I thought he was a deluxe size, and you put him next to like Deluxe Headmaster Rodimus or Titan Master. He is a good head shorter. So he is a tiny figure.
Okay, so that Titans Return Rodimus is a little bit big even for the Titans Return stuff. Like, how does that Bumblebee do with like Studio Series Deluxes, which tend to be smaller?
He's still smaller. He's like a large Legends class, I guess you would say.
Which one is this?
Yeah, who made that?
The Toy World, the Green Hornet, but in yellow, which is like the old like World War II movie accurate car that they had.
Right.
Yeah, it's a Mercedes that turns into the Armored Cars robot.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely love how it looks in yellow. I think that's just, to me, I love that. But he's so small.
You think anybody will upscale that one?
I don't know. Does anyone do? Yeah, there have been a couple Toy World knockoffs, but that was back in the day. The only thing I really remember getting knocked off of Toy World was that combiner of the throttle bots.
Oh yeah, Throttle Kaiser.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I remember there's that got KO'd and upscaled and knocked off.
Yeah, which it seems like I don't know what even the point was, because like almost all of the Throttle Kaiser individual toys were super cheap and easy to get anyway.
Except for Grind Rod. Grind Rod was
that was the first
for
one.
a while.
But yeah, that Bumblebee is probably pretty well in scale with the Studio Series Deluxes. I can understand.
I don't think so. I think it's way
like
too
typical.
small.
I mean, they're pretty small.
Yeah,
But I also got a upscaled Ironhide KO, Masterpiece Ironhide KO. And he's pretty nice. He has light up eyes. His cannons light up. He's got blue on one, and I believe yellow on the other. And where's the button? Where's the button?
he doesn't
it's
have
on.
anything on the other one.
What's that?
Maybe he doesn't have anything on the other one.
No, he has a button. It's just on the inside, so it's pegged in, so it's kind of hard to get to.
Oh.
Fine.
Yeah, but he's pretty decent. I didn't want to pay MP prices for this mold because this mold has some issues.
I may be done by
I actually
MP
didn't
molds
know.
in general.
What's that?
I may be done buying MP stuff in general after this week, but we'll
find out about that in a few minutes.
Yeah, but he's pretty cool. I didn't transform him. I did get his shoulders locked in fairly decently. I mean, I don't think they're perfect, but they are locked in. So that's good. But
Do you
yeah,
have the official MP or MPM Ironhide?
what's that?
Do you have the official Masterpiece Ironhide?
No.
Okay. Rodimus Supreme was asking if the QC was better on this than the official one, but that probably is not something you'd have a frame of reference for.
I think it is. Just from what I've seen, because like the shoulders were floppy, but I actually got them locked in, which they still move a little bit, but not as bad as what I've seen on the official MPM. So, but he's upscaled. I wish he was. At least I believe he's upscaled. But I wish he was like a straight KO of the correct size. But I didn't
have
know.
To imagine there is a straight KO of that out there somewhere. Although whether it'd be better quality than the official one at that point is up in the air.
Yeah, exactly. And then this is a surprise to me because I swear I didn't order it, and this is probably Brian got too. I got
your box
Black
is upside
Arachnia.
down, but it's Black
Yeah.
Arachnia.
I mean,
Black Arachnia.
you know, spiders typically are upside down, so that's in character.
So for people not watching the video, Diecast is showing off the box. It's still within the Amazon Japan shrink wrap that
Yeah.
I love and hate at the same time.
Although, actually, I've gotten stuff from HLJ that's packaged basically the same way, so I think that might just be like a standard for Japanese mail order.
Maybe.
I mean, it's a smart way to package it.
Yeah, I don't keep Masterpiece boxes anymore, but if I did, the sticker on them would just drive me crazy.
Oh, no. Amazon Japan, at least, those stickers are made to peel off easily and without damaging the material underneath. There's actually the line of Japanese text on the sticker that says this sticker is easily removed.
Oh,
So, like, they put that for inventory control purposes, but they are smart about it and it will not ruin the
I throw
packaging.
boxes away, but
That's fine. No, I just wanted to make that point
thank
for
you.
anybody else who might be affected by that.
Yeah, so
I thought it was funny they actually print that on there in Japanese that it is designed to be removed cleanly.
but that came
Diecast,
today.
is that the one that I saw on Facebook? You said that had been opened in transit.
Yes.
Mine
Yes.
was too.
And Alan Toy Box Comics, his was delayed.
Mine was
And-
too.
When my Masterpiece
In
Megatron
Cincinnati.
earlier this year was in transit, it was delayed a day, and when it came, they had opened and inspected it.
Probably in Cincinnati, which is where it arrives, and it was delayed by a day. So I was supposed to have it yesterday. It actually arrived in Charlotte today, like at lunchtime, and they actually threw it on the courier in their van and drove it up here, and I had it in about an hour. So
Nice.
I was really impressed by that. Somebody in the chat, and I forget who it was at this point. I should scroll back. They got theirs like just before the show started. HLJ. DHL is, they're on it. It seems like so. Very pleased with that.
Yeah, Dusty on Facebook, his was just like mine, and he actually posted about it, and I was like, yeah, mine was the same way, and I thought maybe it was customs that was kind of like peeking in the
Pretty
box, like they opened it just enough to be like, oh, okay, it's a toy, okay.
Nerds, yes, nerds.
Yeah, come on, nerds, let them go.
Cool. What else did you get?
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't open it yet. But the other thing I got was the Zeta Bruticus. The
Oh wow!
toy colored one. Was that toy colored or show colored? It was the
kinda
whole box set.
It's. I guess it's. I don't know. Is it toy color? They're both kind of garish and beautiful at the same time. It's also how it's interpreted. Like when it comes to because of course the animation and the toy don't match, so they have to sort of creatively go in and line up where everything is. It might be the animation, but they're so close in my mind that, especially when you have to reinterpret where paint and everything goes because the toy doesn't line up. I don't know. It's pretty though.
Yeah, and it's big, and the box is pretty big, and that's why I didn't bring it down.
Is John turning on video? Oh, John's at home. Well, look at that. John just showed up on video. A wild John DeLuna approaches.
Man,
Oh, the video's balanced. Good job.
you'd have to break up the show. But yeah, I'm home. Sorry.
He's dying, but he's home.
Keep going.
Okay, cool. Anything else, Diecast?
Yeah.
Show off that Bruticus next week. We need to see that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Because it's
means
very
I-
nice looking.
that means I have to put it together.
Yes. Yes. It does.
That's what you do with your toys. Diane.
Yes.
My Zeta Toys Superion still only has one leg.
Nobody cares
on-
about that one.
and the
Bruticus actually
body.
looks nice. Actually, no. The Superion looks nice too. Their stuff looks really
Yeah.
good. I'm not
Yeah.
interested in buying it, but it looks good.
And now you know how you're spending your holiday weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jason, did you get anything?
Yeah. Speaking of how I'm spending my holiday weekend. So last Wednesday, I think I decided to ship. I had stuff at both TF Source and Big Bad Toy Store. TF Source actually got my box by Saturday. Big Bad Toy
Nice.
Store decided not to ship that one until Monday afternoon, so I don't have that one yet. And it's FedEx, so even though it's about 2 hours from my house, I won't see it till Monday because FedEx. But I digress. So what I did get, and it's all Flame Toys and Iron Factory. That's pretty much all I have coming right now. So first of 3 model kits I'll get. IDW Nemesis Prime version of the IDW Prime mold. So that's probably what I'll be doing this holiday weekend, is putting that together. But I have the regular Prime, so I already know what to expect, and I'm excited to be able to put it together. So that's the model kit. As far as toys go, Iron Factory, I got their Nightmare Commander, which is their God Jinrai take on their Nemesis Prime version of their War Within Optimus Prime. Yes, I got that right. Yes, it is. And it's Iron Factory, which means it's A, great, and B, you have to transform it about 6 times before the tolerances aren't scary. At least, it's easier after that. My fingers are pretty sore after putting this guy together. There's a lot to it, but it's nice. Iron Factory is pretty much the third-party company I go for right now, aside from Fans Hobby, and their God Bomber is about the only thing I'm going to be getting from them anytime soon. So, but the other the last thing I got is also Iron Factory. It's their I'm down to my last 2 members of the DJD. So this is Murak, which is, I don't know, Tesserus or Helix, whichever one it is. And he's in pieces because I am preparing to assemble the combiner when the other one comes in probably next week. Because, it's a DJD, so I'll probably put them together once and then, keep them separate. But from, the pictures I've seen, as far as combiners go, it looks really nice. Because unlike a Bruticus where, a tank is one of your shins, so you've got this big tank and this little, thigh piece leading up to it. He's going to be his proportions are going to be very even when he's together, and I think it's going to look really nice. So I'm looking forward to seeing that when I finally get all the pieces and everything, and then breaking them apart and just having my representation of the DJD hanging out. So yeah, hopefully when I get that package sometime next week, I can finish that up and then get my last couple flame toy kits too.
Yeah. What are the other Flame Toy kits you're waiting on?
I am getting IDW Megatron, so you're familiar with that one, obviously, Chris. Cool. Yep.
Good one.
And Shattered Glass Battle Mode Optimus Prime, aka Akane Shinjo Optimus Prime, which 2 or 3 people will get after they hear that, but that's okay.
Is that like a Konami reference? That sounds like one of the Castlevania games on the NES.
No.
No, that would be that's an anime reference, Brian.
Oh,
sorry.
okay.
And I think it's going to be more than a few people that get that one.
Yeah, Gridman was pretty popular among a certain set of people. It didn't really do anything for me, though, sadly.
Yeah, you're right. I didn't give people enough credit, Rob. You're right. Probably more than a few people got that one.
If my Twitter is any indication, that there's more than a few people.
Right.
Anything else?
Nope.
John, now that you're here, I don't know if you've collected your voice, but did you get anything?
Yeah, I've recovered. Sorry, the minute I turned on the video, the second I clicked video, you threw it to me.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm going to do.
Two, I swallowed an apricot wrong, which was awesome.
Okay.
It felt as good as it sounded.
I want to share stupid stories because I'm really playing it fast and loose this week because it's a holiday episode. We've all seen, I'm a sucker for teamwork and, teams at work being more than just a team. Really the high performing teams have been typically friends and everything. But sometimes you do have the boss or the boss's boss that has the rah-rah speech and they go overboard. There was an executive at my former company, great guy, love the guy. Awesome. He came from he was dirt poor, and he worked his way up to being a senior vice president. He was an awesome human. He is an awesome human being. But there was this one meeting where he apparently, to get his people going, he used to do this gimmick. He would take a pack of crackers, he would crush them in his hand, and he would pour them into a cup of water, and he would drink it. And he did that in a meeting once, and the crackers expanded in his throat, and he almost died.
Oh my god!
It was horrible. That's how you sounded a minute ago.
Oh yeah, that was not good. But I wasn't joking. It just sounded like I was. So it was all for show. Anyway, a little bit, half a can of Diet Mountain Dew, and a couple minutes, and I'm back, baby. Oh, hey, Brian, speaking of what I got, so I saw you tweeted, and I don't know if you have gone into this, so I'll let you go into this, but I got my Masterpiece Bumble version 2 today, and I'll get Black Arachnia Friday, I think. I think you got both, so I'll let you or whoever talk in detail. But why did we do that, Brian?
I don't know.
That was what happened 2 or 3 months ago. What were we doing? Anyway, so I got that, and then let's see, anything else? I didn't get any more Toy Fair literature or anything like that this week. I did chase some stuff, but that market's getting unreasonable.
Oh, I get it.
And then
we shouldn't talk about
I'm holding on to my reason.
I've learned now not to talk about that stuff on the podcast if we don't want people to go in on that market.
Yeah, and I'm fine with it. I mean, if they want, honestly, at the end of the day, I'm kind of they'll discover it inevitably, and if they want it that bad, then it's money saved in a way.
That's true.
Money kept in my pocket, and eventually, I'm confident that my Transformers rabidness will outlast 85% of them.
Yeah,
and it'll come back around. The market will crash, and and I'll scoop that stuff up. I might be 47 when I do that, but it'll happen. Mm-hmm. And if it doesn't happen, well, then whatever. So anyway, so I don't think I got anything else Transformers related, but I did get the Marvel Superheroes cabinet, the arcade one cabinet.
Did you get the deluxe one or the one that they sell at retail?
I got the deluxe one, so it's got the light up marquee and stuff, and I'll probably actually sell the base to recoup some money, because I like the arcade one up. I personally like the cabinets without the riser, because I like being able to sit at the stool.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know. Yeah, it seems more fun, because they're what, 60% scale, something like that.
75.
Okay. Yeah,
my wife.
So they're clearly not full size.
No, they're not.
And they're also clearly meant naturally to be something you sit and play. So I prefer that.
And I've owned 2 full size cabinets, and I've had them in my home. You don't want that unless you specifically have the space for it. That's what I really love about that 3/4 scale. I was talking to my wife though. I've been really hinting around that I wanted the deluxe unit, not of that, but the pack of MK2 from Costco that comes with the riser, which I wouldn't use, and the stool. But to be honest with you, I don't have the room, and also to be honest, I'm at the point to where I think I'm done playing 3 versions of Street Fighter that I don't like. For $60, I can put a Raspberry Pi in it, or a PC, whatever I want to do. But considering the cost, I would probably just do a Raspberry Pi, and I already have a main cabinet back here that has a PC in it that I can play like Tekken and stuff on. But I think it's upstairs. I'm just going to throw a Raspberry Pi in it so I can actually play hyper fighting and not have to play Champions Edition and pretend that I'm playing hyper fighting. So yeah,
Yeah, man, it's a no judge zone.
yeah. But
Mod it as much as you want.
yeah. So yeah. But otherwise, Walmart had the Final Fight cabinet for like $140, $150, which is what I paid for that Street Fighter cabinet, like at Bargain Hunt.
That's how you tweet that, like at dawn.
Yeah. He mentioned that he wanted it. I want it for Strider. I don't care about Final Fight, but Strider's amazing. But yeah.
Yeah, 1944 is good too.
Yeah. Ghosts and Goblins, yeah.
Ghouls
and Ghosts is one of my favorite games
landmark
ever, but,
title, I guess.
Yeah.
Say that.
But Ghosts and Goblins?
It's horrific.
Yeah, not so much.
Say that again?
Yeah, Ghouls and Ghosts is one of my favorite games ever, but Ghosts and Goblins, not so much.
No, it's kind of trash, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so yes, I did get Bumble version 2. Somebody talk about it, because I'm just...
Yeah, I'll talk about it next.
I'm just full of regret.
I've got a few things I want to talk about. I honestly expected only this week to be talking about this one item. I honestly didn't think I would be getting anything else. I'm going through and trying to get like all the Generations and Classic stuff that I don't have. One thing on my list is Classics Fireflight, which is what? Based on Cybertron Jetfire. It's the Legends figure.
Yeah.
It's very plain, but it's also much larger than most, more massive than most Legends figures that we've gotten recently. So something I can check off a list. Yay. Something else I can check off a list that I skipped every time I've seen it, but Ollie's had it for $20. Plus we had a 15% coupon. I got the leader class last night, Megatron. I've been living with the Voyager figure since it came out. I just didn't want to drop $50 on this, and I've skipped it at 35. I honestly skipped it at 20 a couple weeks ago, but with the coupon, I'm like, let's do it. So I have that. What else do I want to mention? I got another Siege Ratchet. They were on sale for $15. Now they're $12, or at least they were the last I checked. But
on the website for $11.99, and if you have, let's say, cooperative people in your local store, you can probably get them to price match that in store. I did.
Yeah, cool. Kim, when she was at Ollie's picking that Megatron up for me, she got me a replacement fidget spinner because I gave the other Transformers fidget spinner I had to the 3-year-old. I don't know why, but she wanted it. So I have that. I'll do the Masterpiece stuff first. No, do we want to start with good news or bad news?
Let's start with the bad news because we're teasing.
Okay, so MP45 Bumblebee V2.
You broke it?
No, it came pre-broken.
It broke me.
It came pre-broken. So I made the mistake of pulling out the original Bumblebee recently, and I gushed over it. Like, I loved it. I hadn't messed with it in forever, and I had to have it. So this is, I think, my least favorite Masterpiece toy ever.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's so it falls into the same trap of like all the other recent Masterpiece toys where it's over-engineered and they try to do magic to squeeze stuff in. Like, this is not exactly how it's supposed to transform, but it actually, to me, looks better than the official transformation that I saw. I didn't look at the manual. I didn't look at the instructions. I never do. So I went by official photos, which might have been mistransformed, but I don't think they were. It's just like the backpack is horrible. The transformation for a toy this size is, I felt several times like I was going to break it. I hate the shape of his arm connector piece here. The arm flap here, where you go in and flip it on his wrist to cover that panel, it's like it's reversed, so it looks like it should be the inside of. It's not, but it looks like it should be the inside of the toy instead of the outside, so that just looks bad. People were complaining about the feet. Yeah, the feet are ugly. The transformation it's just the normal frustrating flipping around, moving panels. The legs are weird. But the worst part is, you're watching video. If you haven't seen my Twitter, this will probably scare the crap out of you. Right, look at that right there. He just comes right apart. Not that it's supposed to come apart, but mine is actually, somebody on Twitter said theirs came apart too, and theirs isn't missing. But like mine is missing like plastic there, where it looks like the mold didn't all the way fill.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I haven't checked mine for that. That's interesting.
Yeah, but in transformation, it slipped right off. The person, I forgot who it was, who said theirs did the same thing. Theirs isn't missing that plastic, but it came right off, which actually helped me in the transformation because it makes it a little easier to deal with the upper torso. But this falls into the same trap as all of the other recent Masterpiece, G1 Masterpiece toys. And it's the worst offender, I think. Like, again, the first Masterpiece Bumblebee was so easy to transform, so intuitive, it looks nice. And this is just, I hate it. This would really turn me off of Masterpiece toys. Maybe it has turned me off of G1 Masterpiece stuff. I would like to complete, like, the 84 cars, if that ever happens, but we had a perfectly fine Bumblebee. Yes, it doesn't match the aesthetic, but I hates it. I hate it.
I mean, it really does seem, just looking at your demonstration here, it really does seem like they pushed the envelope too far. For something like MP44, or even, something the size of an Autobot car, a normal Autobot car, you can kind of get away with trying to force the magic in there, but yeah, I mean, that Bumblebee is tiny in your hands. You can't do that with something that small.
I'm trying to remember. I think, let me compare the two. Obviously, they're not the super comparable, but we have Black Arachnia here, who's at least taller than Bumblebee. She is not as massive. But let's just talk about Black Arachnia. So we all were worried about Black Arachnia with the really bad spider mode. It's never going back into spider mode, I'm not going to lie. But taking it out of the box and it's packed in spider mode, the spider mode's not that bad. It's not great, but it's not that bad. So getting that out of the way, the transformation for Black Arachnia, which is, she's very reminiscent of a classic deluxe size figure. So she, in some ways, reminds me, I haven't put her side by side, but size-wise, she's about the size of Beast Machine's Black Arachnia. With a transformation that's a little more intricate. But when it boils down to it, the transformation for this was perfect. I loved it. I loved transforming this toy. It was intuitive. I had no need at all to question anything or look at the instructions. It all made sense. It was like I transformed it carefully, and it took me about a minute and a half. And that was being extra careful. So I genuinely love this toy. So it's super refreshing. It's way more fun to transform than the other Masterpiece Beast Wars toys, except for maybe it's more fun than Cheetor. But it's not like frustrating like Megatron or Dinobot. I genuinely love this toy. I am enamored with this. So I mean, it's great. I couldn't be happier. And again, the spider mode, not so epic, but I don't care. It's like with MP44. They worked extra hard, of course, to try to have that, like the flawless vehicle mode and the flawless robot mode, and everything else in between was compromised. With this, I mean, all the focus was put on the robot mode, and the spider mode is there. It's very serviceable, but it's a fantastic toy. I didn't want to smash it, throw it, anything in the course of transforming it. I'm very pleased with it. So
That's good.
Yeah.
Wasn't that more expensive than Bumblebee too?
$10, I think.
Hmm.
I think maybe like $10, maybe less. I should go back, but the difference in price was negligible.
Either way, that sounds like it was more worth it to you than Bumblebee 2.
Yes. And I love Bumblebee, don't get me wrong. I mean, like, if it boils down to it, if I had to pick a character that means more to me between Black Arachnia or Bumblebee, I'm going to pick Bumblebee. I like Beast Wars better, quote unquote. But I mean, most of my stuff is G1 and G1 inspired, but I love this. And
That was the preferable experience for you today.
yeah. And one more item. This was something I had ordered. I didn't exactly know when I would get it. It is a Takara Keshi or Keshi Gomu set. So it is, I guess it's supposed to be technically the Cybertron or Autobots versus Destron set. But the figures that are included are apparently random. I actually looked at other versions of this online. And most of them, it's Autobot versus Decepticon. Mine it's all Decepticons, even though obviously the packaging says Cybertron versus Destrons. Basically, it came with all three Seekers. It came with all three Insecticons. One Reflector. It came with who else? Soundwave, Megatron, a Ravage, and a Blitzwing, and a launcher that I don't know how the launcher works. I'm not opening it, so I'm not going to know. But it came with these. Originally, so this specific one, it had been, until the tape gave way, it had been, it's never been opened, but it was sealed. But the tape eventually rotted away. So this is what, from 85-ish, I think.
Wow.
So this is also the peach-colored versions. We didn't get this coloration here. That's the reason I wanted it, because they look more like muscle men.
I was thinking that.
Yeah. So, yeah. This is, I was very pleased with this. And there are other colors that they got in Japan. So these, the Keshi stuff, if I remember correctly, came out before Decoys did, and Decoys were packaged with toys. So, but yeah, so this is what I may go for some of the other sets, but I was super. I saw this, I had to have it, so I wanted it. So,
important up from the chat. Matt's in there, and he says, "You guys are still talking about what you got this week."
Yes, that's.
Hey, and speaking of that, I did forget something.
What'd you get?
I got the Bumblebee mask. And when I saw this, I was like, I don't remember seeing that in many stores, and it turned up at a discount store for $19.99, which is a great price, because I think it was $100. Apparently, it was a Target only exclusive. So, and this does have Bluetooth, so I can actually listen to music.
How much did you say you got it for?
$19.99.
Where?
At Burlington.
Cool.
It used to be called Burlington Coat Factory.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one of those.
Yeah, I have one like on the other side of the state.
Oh, you do?
Wait, no. I have one closer than that.
It's worth checking out. I also got the Star Wars Poe Dameron helmet for $19.99.
Cool.
Well, that stuff will probably end up turning up at, well, maybe not always necessarily, but like I wouldn't be surprised if Ross and Marshalls.
Yeah, but the helmet was actually really cool, because when you got it, it's like in pieces, and all this yellow, they're all separate pieces, so you actually build the helmet.
Cool.
And once you build it, like, it looks really good up close. Like, the yellow has a metallic in it and everything, so the eyes have detail in the eyes, so it's a really nice piece. Like, I am super happy with it. And the Autobot emblem is a little plain, but the speaker is actually right behind that Autobot emblem. So I realize, that's kind of why they did that. But it looks great, and I'm really happy I got it. It said it was valued at $35,
Was-
which I'm pretty
yeah.
sure it was at least 100 when it was at
I thought it
Target.
was like
Same
80.
thing with
I
the
mean-
Poe Dameron helmet. I mean that they're $100 easy. The Star Wars Black Series, and that said it was valued at $40. So
Cool. Anything else?
no, that was it.
Okay, so we're gonna before we jump to the news, we're gonna do a scam alert, and I don't have like a bumper for that, so I'm gonna say scam alert. So, this is something that people wonder why I do things sometimes intentionally. Like, well, you know, like
A lot
in
of
the chat,
times.
I think it was Rodimus Supreme asked, "Why did you get MP45?" Love you, dude. I really do. You watch us though every week, and we appreciate that. But like, I've got to talk about it. So whenever I see the opportunity to dig into something, I'm not picking on Rodimus Supreme. You know, I'm explaining why I do stupid stuff. So Nest Chalk on Twitter showed this link, and I'm not going to identify any retailer because I don't want to. Put myself in a position to get sued or anything. But there was this link to this store that was selling a transforming G1 Optimus Prime, and it was the transformation. It was remote controlled. The transformation sequence was highly intricate. I assumed that it was like some sort of prototype that somebody had built, and whatever version of this that I got would have been certainly a mass-produced inferior copy of it. So, like, the version that was being sold would run $100 if you bought it, but like a cheap Chinese knockoff of it, I thought, or a Chinese retail version of it, I thought would be like $50, which is what was being charged. I didn't notice until today. I didn't know until yesterday that on the website it says the item you receive will be the item shown. If you are not 100% satisfied, you will get a refund. Well, what I received was, you remember, G1 Optimus Prime transforming, etc., etc. So I'm not going to open this because I have aspirations of returning it, which may not happen. But it is supposedly like a Bayverse. It really looks more like Laser Rod to me, but it's supposedly a Transformers movie verse Optimus Prime. But when you actually look at it, it looks like, I don't know, almost like a scaled up shampoo figure that we talk about, like the really cheap, crappy toys. It does transform, and it is remote controlled. So the description, there's plausible deniability, which is, I'll get to that in a second. Plausible deniability that this might be, the same item, but the website specifically says the item you receive will be the item shown. It is not.
Well, that looks like it. I
Yeah,
mean, you got an Optimus Prime. They showed an Optimus Prime.
Well, yeah. So, I got it. Okay, they just mixed up. That's not a big deal. So, I sent them an email through their website. Like, hey, I got the wrong item. Yeah, I'm like, I got the right item, and it went through the process. It went to. I got an email back. It went to like a Zendesk help ticket. I'm like, okay, it is a legitimate retailer. Great. They emailed me back, hey, sorry to hear that. Send me a photo. We'll get this taken care of. So I sent them a photo. And they emailed me back the next day. It's like, hey, the item you received is the item that you ordered. We're sending you back your invoice just to show you that, you idiot. They didn't say you idiot, but it was, like, no, it's really not. So I sent them the listing on their website. And I found this item. Again, I paid $50 for it. I found this item on another website. It was like $30. I'm not too worried about the cost, but it's not even a $30 item. It's like a super $10 piece of crap. It's like something you would buy at a dollar store for $10. And I'm like, hey, different manufacturer, different engineering, different model number. They are in no way comparable. So we've had several back and forths, and they insist it's the same item, and they basically. They said, hey, we will be glad to exchange this for an item of the same value. I'm like, I don't want something of the same value. The website, of course, says, they'll get a refund. They will not give me a refund. So I'm working through the PayPal process now to get that taken care of. But what I noticed, and of course, Facebook, they will show you ads of stuff that are relevant to you. I've started seeing ads from another retailer. that is selling this. But unlike other ads, other Facebook ads, they have the author of the post monitoring it and responding, but it's super shady. It is super shady. Like there's somebody basically responding to questions that people ask, and people are asking questions, and the person's just flat out lying. It's just it's creepy because I know the person. I know the person is basically a thief. They're a fraudster, and they have no scruples with it. They're selling something that is not the same thing. You go to their website and you look at the reviews, and they're all like 4 or 5 stars. But if you read the actual reviews, the reviews are all like, what they sent me was crap. I've asked for a refund. I'm not getting it. 5 stars. This is not what I ordered. This is I'm trying to get this fixed. 4 stars. All the review, the review text, or the review text will be, hey, like this flower pot that I got is excellent. 5 stars. So it's that's a red flag. That's a scam. So what I found out is the retailer that I bought this from, it operates under several different names. And what you get is you'll go to a website. It'll be the same one through CSS or whatever. The site will look different, but it's otherwise the exact same thing. So I don't know if the one that I'm seeing on Facebook is the same one, but I am, from what I understand, in no way, shape, or form are any of these sites selling this thing legitimate. And again, I do this so that you don't have to. I will get my money back one way or the other. So I'm not worried about that. But I was curious, like, hey, is this going to be a scam? If so, I can talk about it here. And if I get it, great. I can talk about it here. So unfortunately, it ended up being a scam. I will get my money back, and I may also get to keep this. And if I do, I'll show it off next week. So avoid. Do not do. Do not get this thing. And I'm certain,
so now 5 stars?
Yeah, 5 stars. This is horrible. I hate it. 5 stars.
I don't want to tell you I told you so, but
like I said, I don't care. Like,
yeah,
I think he knew.
I knew something. I mean, I assumed that I would get it. It would be the item, but it would be junk, and I'm fine with that. But it's not even the item that I ordered. That's the frustrating part. Like, I've done the buying stuff, from China for 15 cents before, and it's always junk. But I kind of like that. But what I don't like is when I order something and I get something completely different and someone lies to me and tells me that it is. So, interesting.
Matt thinks it sounds like you care, Brian.
Matt is mistaken. Like, I'm going to get my money back either way. I'm honestly not worried. But Matt is mistaken. Sorry, Matt. Okay, let's jump to the news. Not a lot news-wise to talk about this week, but we have a third-party item. Actually, I do want to talk about this up front. Fans Hobby Master Builder MB12 Athena color images. So it's an MP Minerva figure. I have never bought a Fans Hobby toy. I know Don likes them.
They're great.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them.
But it's Minerva, and I will buy that. I already pre-ordered it as soon as I saw it.
The price is really good, too. Yeah. I was shocked.
Yeah, it's like $55.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's super reasonable.
I spent on this crappy thing here what I'll be spending on this, and I would much rather have this.
Yep.
And again, when it comes to like third-party stuff, and even third-party Masterpiece stuff, I typically will buy items that are not going to come out, and there's no way we're ever going to get a Masterpiece Minerva, not an official one. Are there any other headmasters from Fans Hobby?
No.
Okay, so here I can't tell, but from the photo, it looks like it's going to have the mechanical tech spec gimmick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we haven't had a third party that's had that yet, right? Because like the remaster figures from Make Toys, those don't have those. At least the one that I have, it's just molded in. Which I love that.
Feel someone did that, but I can't think of which company.
I feel like someone, but I'm with Chris. I can't remember exactly.
I can't remember if the Toy World ones had them or not, because I didn't have those.
So Ryan in the chat is saying 2 weeks ago, Brian said no more third party. There was the caveat of no more third party unless it's something that is weird and crazy and interests me. So this falls under the weird and crazy and interests me because there's no way it's going to happen.
Right,
So,
yeah, you'll never see
this will never happen
from Takara.
Like I actually had the Lightning Eagle pre-ordered, but I canceled that because that's like outside of the scope. I think of what. Not that we'll ever get a Masterpiece Thunder Clash, but like the likelihood that we'll get a Thunder Clash is higher to me than the likelihood that we'll get a Minerva.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, but yeah, like I did say, like no more third party, but there was also an asterisk there. So, good listening. I'm glad you pointed that out. I do have the bucket of Galvatrons. I'm actually thinking about keeping now the open and play because it's so nice.
He very much is.
Yeah, it's great. Okay. But yeah, so there's this Minerva thing. It's pretty awesome. I'm excited. Gosh, even the vehicle mode.
I'm sort of holding out hope for like later in Earthrise, we'll see like Nightbeat get a new toy again and be engineered in such a way where they can do a Generation Selects Minerva. That's
oh man, then I would toss this, even though it's that's a deluxe and this is a masterpiece.
Yeah, but I mean, for the way I collect, the deluxe is what I want.
Crap, maybe I'll just cancel this now. I'll hold it. It's only $55. Okay, but yeah, that was really. I honestly was excited about that. Okay, so something I'm not excited about. MP49. This gets its own designation, its own number. Black Convoy.
Okay, so I mentioned something about this, like maybe pre-stream even, like that people were going to be bugged that this gets its own number, but I figured out why this is a full number and not a letter add-on to MP44.
Why?
It's not going to come with a trailer.
Probably not. Yeah,
yeah I assumed. I mean, I assumed that, but that would explain why. Yeah.
Yeah.
And black is slimming, so that huge back.
Yeah.
So do we know a price?
No. So the Big Bad listing says the information will come on like December 5th. This basically, like, I think Takara has alerted them, we're going to be soliciting this at this time, and probably they give a heads up for the purpose of don't post anything about this you might hear until then. Like, it's more of a moratorium notice than a heads up thing. So that's why we have information about it right now.
So Blade Raider's asking, would I buy it if it came with a basketball? Man, I don't know. I don't think so. Like MP44 didn't. So,
I kind of want to find out from you guys, like, what do you think this price is going to be without
that's exactly what I was going. I'm guessing $275.
Well, I would go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to plug it in at 25,000, but that's easy.
I would take that question like to Brian and John, who have this figure and have had their issues with it. What would you pay? What would actually get you to buy a second version of this?
Nothing.
Given what you've experienced. Okay.
No.
I wondered.
I mean,
a lower price.
If I could get it on clearance for $100, I would buy it. That's I think about what I paid for the MP10 repaint of Black Convoy, whatever that designation was.
I mean, my thing will be like, the people who are going to buy this will pay almost anything, and it's a very small like sliver of the fandom. But if you're into a Nemesis Prime version of this mold, then I could probably charge you $400 and you'll buy it. So
for non-ridiculousness, I would really hope that the price point of this is 25,000 yen, because that's it's high, but it's a solid middle ground for where Masterpiece is right now. But like, just giving it a little more thought, I won't be surprised if it ends up being 30,000.
Yeah.
You can name your price.
Yeah, let me real quick see how much I paid for MP36.
Ronimus Supreme, I actually agree with him. He's hoping this is actually Car Robot's Black Convoy. It won't be, but that would actually at least be kind of fun.
I mean, absolutely, but I mean, that would be an entirely new mold, and we would get, I would say we would get that as Optimus Prime first.
A Masterpiece Laser Optimus Prime.
I mean, to some people, especially in the late 90s and early 2000s on Alt Toys Transformers, that toy was already a masterpiece. Because it won Toy of the Year in the trannies every year.
It did. Oh, man. MP36. Of course, this is from Amazon Japan. I was thinking, did I pay 25,000 yen for that? No, I paid 15,685 yen for that. So
Yeah, well,
Yeah, I think list price on that might have been like 18,000.
yeah, I would hope that list price would match MP36 or whatever MP36 goes for now. I guess they're roughly the same size. Honestly, though, I guess Optimus has more engineering in it, even though
Yeah, probably.
I don't like it nearly as much.
Which one's 36?
Megatron.
Okay. I'm getting these numbers. There's
Yeah.
too many now.
Actually, wasn't the new Masterpiece Megatron the same price as MP10? So it was like 20 or 25,000, brand new.
I don't know. I paid brand new.
that sounds right.
I paid brand new.
Yeah, it does.
16,000 yen.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense because Amazon and some of the other Japanese online retailers, like, there's the list price, but then everybody gets a chance to break down to their like predetermined discount, which is like 30% usually.
List price is 25,300.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know, randomly, what masterpiece I could go for is G1 Galvatron.
Yes.
Like
We wanted
super detailed movie perfect Galvatron would be awesome.
We've wanted
Fans
that
toys.
MP9.
The Fans Toys is nice. I wish it was plastic and not metal. Like if I could get the Fans Toys, the Fans Toys is like 80% of the way there. If I could just get it mostly plastic. Yeah, it's too much die-cast metal in that thing. I know that's blasphemous to some people, but Galvatron does not need die-cast metal everywhere.
I'm right there with you.
His feet, his feet can be die-cast metal. That's good enough.
I mean, that's a good thing in like large masterpiece kind of stuff, especially. Like, yeah, put some metal, put some dead weight low on the toy to help the center of gravity, but not like mixed through the core.
Yeah, I mean, I was
I don't
even
know what
thinking.
you're talking about. That toy is perfect.
I was even thinking though with Galvatron was the G1 toy. If there were any die-cast in it, it was the feet, but I can't remember if it was metal or plastic. But yeah, I need Galvatron. I think once we get a Galvatron, I'm done. Well, and all the 84 cars.
Yeah,
Jazz?
then we get into the movie cast. That's what he signals.
RC, we don't have a cup.
A really nice masterpiece Cyclonus, I think, would actually be pretty cool.
With Galvatron.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Yeah, not by
I think Cyclonus would be hard for them to pull off.
I'd like to see them play, honestly. Like,
Yeah.
that's not even a taunting. I would just legitimately like to see the attempt made.
So
By
what do
then
you
they'll
think
charge
50
$1,000
will
for them.
be?
So
Cripes.
What do you think 50 will be? We're so close to 50.
Yeah, I mean, that's a hard call at this point because, like, you would have expected them to do the new Convoy as 50.
Yeah.
yeah,
Maybe it'll be
probably
Starscream.
I think they gotta do something. Yeah, like I would expect either like, a 3.0. Would that be 3.0 jet
Ugh.
or Jazz?
Is it 3.0 or
Since we
2.0?
have
Yeah.
got
I mean, we haven't gotten a new mold for the jet. The cone
they
heads were.
They reversioned the Seeker heavily.
Yeah, I
And
mean, there's quite a few changes, but I mean, it's not. I wouldn't call it a 2.0 version, like a 1.5.
What? Really? I would definitely call that second time around for the Seekers, like version 2.
Or
I would-
like 4.8. It's closer to 2.5.
Paladin
I
says,
That
think
first
they would
Seeker
do
mold was
Mirage,
like
too. They
trying to
could
do
do
something so
Mirage.
different.
yeah. Paladin saying MP50 is Optimus Prime with a new hat.
It's Return of Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime, where Mohawk is gray now.
Oh yeah. So
I'm
basically,
just gonna call it
Malibu-
right now because
Oh,
it's
Malibu
gonna
Optimus
it'll be Rat Trap. It's just gonna be nothing. It's gonna be Rat Trap.
That's not nothing.
It'd be Pack Rat.
No, I mean
It's going to be the same transformation as the Generations Rat Trap.
Yeah, well, as long as materially it's stronger, that's not a terrible thing. It's just that Rat Trap had a tendency to break at certain key points because of the plastics that were used. No, I think there's a lot of merit to the idea that MP50 will be another reversion Starscream, because that's where they're going to get their money back out of Masterpiece mold investment, where they can run that 6 to 12 times over the course of 5 years.
So Jared is mentioning Car Robots Optimus Prime, so Fire Convoy. That would be interesting, and I think it would make Don's day.
I don't.
Well, then that can't happen.
Not to be harsh on Car Robots or anything, but I don't think they would put that at 50 if they're internally looking at 50 as being a notable number. It would be a G1 character. Absolutely.
Most likely.
Yeah, I mean, Starscream is super likely. I wouldn't even be shocked if they had a Soundwave or something like that. But again, that's cartoon, doing their cartoon thing that they're doing right now. I would
be very upset if they did a new Soundwave, because Soundwave is great. I don't see a reason to redo Soundwave.
It's coming. You know it's coming.
New Soundwave's dead.
No, you know what? It could be Masterpiece Blaster.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Some of his cassettes in Masterpiece, or pre-tooling for them exists. So, we've known for a while that's been at least something someone's been thinking of, and this could be a place for it to come in.
Yeah.
I don't think Blaster's big enough for 50, though.
Is Blaster big enough in Japan, though?
I'm really putting my money on Jazz, but I would be shocked. The only thing that I know, they have in the I don't know anyone that have inside information, but the only thing I think they have in the pipeline is Cliff Jumper. And I'm like, that wouldn't be a good 50.
Oh, please, no.
Yeah.
And the thing with that, too, we heard rumors of a Masterpiece Cliff Jumper recently, but that was as MP49, which that's been debunked now. So, Cliff Jumper, I'm sure Cliff Jumper is a thing that will exist at some point, but they probably don't have, an immediate plan for it. So, anyway, Brian wants to move on, so let's move on.
Well, real quick, though, if we had to pick between Jazz and Blaster, honestly, on which would be 50, I think it would be Blaster probably over Jazz. If nothing else, I think Blaster is... I think it's a more prestige toy in the sense that it's larger, and in the sense that Blaster was more featured more prominently in Transformers fiction, either Blaster or or Broadcast or Twincast. So I think that I just don't think of Jazz as being top tier Japanese Transformer.
I mean, it's a hard debate for marketability, too, because, each of them has one recolor that you can do. So there's not even an advantage that way with them.
I think they could probably get a higher margin, maybe, out of Blaster, just because of the size. But then you could get a higher margin out actually have a Jazz, because it would cost less and they can charge more.
Well, not necessarily, though, because Blaster doesn't come with an inherent licensing
Meister,
fee.
yeah. Meister has the, Nissan? Yeah.
Porsche.
No, Porsche.
Is it a Porsche?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he's a Volkswagen. Yeah, of course, Stepper would be a pretty hot item.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, for Kilby's point about the margin, not having a licensing fee on every use of that mold would certainly help.
Yeah.
Even if it was a toy.
Cool, okay. Well, moving along, so last item actually, Figure Heat Magazine 262, scans of Earthrise, Studio Series, and Cyberverse, and look how tiny the Cliff Jumper is.
So it's really convenient that they have it on that table immediately next to Micromasters, because, you can see, Cliff Jumper is 2 Micromasters tall, which just happened to put it exactly in the range I predicted a few weeks ago from the stock photos of the packaging. So it's between 3.5 and 4 inches tall, because all Siege Micromasters are basically the same height.
Did we have to predict? I mean, I saw this in person, and I told you.
Hey. You did, and 6 other people did, but that still leaves 99% of the interested fandom who does not have first-hand direct viewing experience with it in contact with other toys.
And it's not like Diecast. You took a photo of it against a ruler to see how tall it is. So
yeah, but I said it's the size of a Legends.
Yeah,
he's Legends.
Well, I mean,
scaled.
Did you say that though before we started talking about what the height was from like the stock photo thing? Because I don't remember that like really being a topic of conversation when the New York Comic Con event was going on.
I don't think it was. I don't remember people complaining about it so much at the time.
Either way, though, like there's like a cycle to how this stuff works, and it's worth bringing the information back up again.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
And this is just like the best confirmation of all, because you can see Cliffjumper with a bunch of other toys. You can also see Hoist is freaking huge.
Hoist is huge. Ironworks looks gigantic. He's also behind.
I think Ironworks is going to be a little bit bigger than average. Like, I think Wheeljack's going to be average deluxe, like along that line, and then Ironworks is a little bit bigger. Hoist is quite a bit bigger, probably at least as big as Ironhide, if not a little bit more. And Cliffjumper is bringing up the rear.
Yeah,
I like Hoist how they in the photo they made sure his legs weren't straight to try to make him not look so tall.
Yeah, because otherwise he would be like barely a head shorter than Grapple back there.
Yeah.
And that's like Grapple's being sold as an exclusive in Japan through Takara Tomy Mall for reasons we don't know. But even so, it's not really good for marketability if the deluxe at 3,500 or 4,000 yen is this almost the same height as the Voyager for 6,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, that picture does exacerbate what we were talking about a few weeks ago with Hoist screens looking extremely mismatched. Now, the lighting there isn't doing it any favors or anything, and I still don't think it's going to be as bad in person for the most part, but it's not a great showing for that either way.
Cool. Okay, hey, tfradio.net/Amazon. Buy something, please. Hey, Black Friday's coming up. They've got all sorts of deals. You know, Cyber Monday. Consider using our Amazon link. Just go there. Jetfire's still $55. tfradio.net/Jetfire. Seriously, it will help us cover show costs, and we're getting that time of year where it's really expensive. tfradio.net/Amazon. Thank you very much. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and jump to what's on T-Formers this week.
Okay, well, we've got a couple of things. First off, Entertainment Earth put some Cyberverse figure listings up that gave us some new figures. We're getting Scout, Ramjet, and Dead End, and also Hammerbite, who, since I've not watched the show, I'm not quite aware who that is.
It's not ringing any bells for me either.
Yeah, I thought I'd heard there was a possibility it was a version of, I think it's Beast Wars Skyhammer that has appeared in the background in some episodes, but that is hearsay on my part, so, take it with several grains of salt. And secondly, Jack got sent a copy of Jim Sorensen's new Transformers of Visual History, and he has posted a review for that. That is a really nice-looking book.
I need to get it. The only thing that's kept me from buying it is the movie verse art on the cover.
That's understandable.
That's the reason I haven't picked it up yet. I'm going to, because I love Jim's books, and when he works with Bill as well. But I'm going to pick him up. That cover. I have to get over that first.
Maybe like a nice book jacket for it.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Anything else? That's it.
That's it.
Cool. Let's see here. Want to go back and mention a couple things again. You can find us on Twitter at TF Radio, on Facebook at facebook.com/TF Radio, and on Twitter, I mentioned Twitter, and Instagram, TF Podcast. Don't forget the toy drive. It'll probably be going on for a couple more weeks. Go to Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, whatever, and look for the hashtag Elf on a Shelf Warmer. And just buy a shell forming toy. It doesn't even have to be a shell forming toy. Donate it, snap a photo, use that hashtag. Help out a kid in need. And that would be awesome. I didn't mention the contest. So I didn't post the Twitter contest last week. I've been super crazy busy. So I haven't had a chance to do that. I'm going to probably Black Friday. I'm going to post the remaining 4. And I'll do all 4 between now and next week. We'll announce the winner on next week's show. Winners, plural. There will be 4 of them. So look out for that. That will be on Twitter. We also have, again, our Roku channel, tfradio.net/Roku. Fire TV at tfradio.net/Fire TV. Those are great ways to watch the show. Sometimes I will go back and watch the show just to take notes and stuff, and I'll use that as the platform of choice, and it just works so great. And honestly, my kids really love watching me, and now you guys that they've met on as well. The 7-year-old has been around Don too much, like the 2 days that she was around him. Today she was in my office, and she saw the Generations RC, and she was like, "Is that RC?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's RC." It's like, "Where's Daniel?" I'm like, "You can go now." So she's going to be a little Headmaster Don, and that scares me. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That sounds horrible. So she's going to be a little Don Ferguson. So, yeah, and there is, again, Fire TV, Apple Podcasts, we're there, Spotify, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, if that still exists. We are everywhere. Everywhere. So, I'm on Twitter at BKilby, on Instagram at Brian Kilby, and you can find my other stuff at briankilby.com. And again, I'll have my Christmas album up this coming week. I'm excited about that. There's so much recording left to do and editing. I'm going to be doing that 24/7 for the next few days. So, briankilby.com. I'll also share it out on the social channels. Rob Springer, who isn't here, he's at RoboRobSpringer on Twitter and on zonebase.org. So, and Blade Raider is asking if I didn't subject the kids to the rebirth the other day. And yes, I did. I thought the kids would love it. Halfway through, they told me they did not love Rebirth. So
did you show them the dubs? That's the important thing.
They've never watched the dubs. They've watched Rebirth. They have watched Transformers the movie, and that's it. I'll probably go with 5 Faces of Darkness next,
That.
and then probably Headmaster's dubs. So
I mean, honestly, probably the Headmaster's dubs. They need to be a little bit older to appreciate.
They're fine.
But
at this point, they won't even ask questions. Though they may be like, "Oh, why are the voices the same?" But that'll be it.
Show them Bot.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. Cool. John, how do people get a hold of you?
That's Audi everywhere.
Rob, how do people get a hold of you?
On Twitter, I'm at Figure Reviewers for toy stuff and Rob Flails for video games. Flailthroughs is the new name of my YouTube channel where I'm covering Gundam Battle Operation 2 for the PlayStation 4. Free-to-play game, don't even need PlayStation Plus to play it. And every Thursday is the weekly update. They generally add at least one new mobile suit a week and usually higher levels of older stuff too at this point. If you like what I'm doing there, patreon.com/flailthroughs, a couple of bucks can get you a special request for specific mobile suits and color schemes and weapons. And beyond that, of course, got the wish list at tfradio.net/claylist, where a little bit goes back to the overhead for the show when you get anything off of that from that link. And if you want to see the video stuff that Chris and I do for T-Formers, check out YouTube at T-Formers TV.
Cool. Chris.
Well, on playwithphotography.com this week, I have a gallery up for Siege Spinister. I'm actually quite pleased with how that turned out, much like I am with the toy. It's amazing how having a really nice toy that you take pictures of just makes you a whole lot happier with the entire process. It's just like so much more fun. So there's over 100 photos of Spinister up that you can check out right now. Tomorrow, my patrons will get early access to the gallery for Crosshairs that will go live for everybody sometime next week. But if you want to, go ahead and check that out when it goes live. You can go to patreon.com/playwithphotos and sign up at least the $5 level. $5 and up gets you early access to many new galleries. Not all, because sometimes something's so new I want to just kind of get out with it as quick as I can, but for the most part there's the early access period. And all Patreon contributions go toward helping keep the site running, new equipment when I need it, and just general upkeep like that. And every little bit helps, even if you can't get to the full $5 level. Even just the $1 or $2 a month really adds up over time. And thank you to everybody who's supported me on Patreon so far. you can follow me on Twitter at Play With Photos for toy photography stuff, or on Instagram at Play With Photography. Random photos, sometimes gallery previews end up out there. On the Twitter account, just a little bit before the show started, I put up a photo. I'm going to reshoot the headshots for Crosshairs, but I put up one of the ones I have right now just to show the high level of surface detail texture that I was able to capture with the camera now. And boy, does that look scary? Scary or impressive? I'm not sure which yet. I haven't decided. But otherwise, if you want to follow me personally on Twitter, I'm at ChrisRTXV. I can't really think of a good reason right now why you should, but it's there if you make that choice. Perhaps I will tweet about Star Trek at some point. It's hard to say. And of course, with Black Friday and the holidays, and also my birthday in a couple months coming up. I have an Amazon wish list, which you can find at tfradio.net/ChrisList. And much like Rob's list, any purchases made there will go back toward helping keep things running for RFC just a little bit.
Cool. And of course, the episode of that one episode of Star Trek, episode 101, posted. You can find it at tfradio.net. I can't wait to listen to it tomorrow.
What about that?
Cool. Diecast.
You can follow me on Twitter at diecast2 and see my past reviews on tfradio.net/reviews.
Wow. That was succinct. That's good.
Yeah, succinct is probably good for this. I'm bad at that.
Yeah, maybe I should cut a couple paragraphs out of mine.
Me too. Cool.
I should probably just put up an about page somewhere that covers all of this, where that I can just bring up every week or
That's
something.
a good idea, actually.
I have a whole website, and I don't have a page.
Cool.
I technically have a website, but I haven't updated it in ages.
You even remember how to log into it?
Since it's part of a Google login, I should be logged in still.
Cool. Okay. We will see you next week. Bye.
There will probably be more of us then.
But it'll probably still be a shorter show.
Are they ever short anymore?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Really. No, I mean,
mean,
that was a long show, but it was fun.
That was long. I'm like, oh, this will be great. This will be short and easy. An
Yeah,
hour
but
and
then-
45 minutes.
I go off script with it at several points, and be kind of fast and loose with it, and
also, when there's fewer of us here, it's easier for one of us to just, get a chance to unwind about something where otherwise we might be, trying to keep it short so other people get a chance to talk.
But we didn't
yeah.
have to. Go ahead.
Why do you think superhero time was usually 2 hours every week?
But we didn't have to go Dawn. Not once.
I was just going to say, well, we knew it was going to be a long episode because Chris got 3 new toys.
3 things, yeah.
And they were worth comment, so.
Yeah.
So in my
Especially
mind,
Spinster.
what we got this week is kind of like the spiritual successor to the old school reviews that we had on RFC years ago.
Oh. Yeah, that makes sense.
That also
Makes
featured
sense,
Chris as a young Goldimus Prime.
Yeah. My voice was deeper then.
No, it wasn't.
It was a joke to me.
It could have been, but the microphone that we're using was just so tinny.
Oh, it was garbage.
Like the microphone that I was using is, by comparison, garbage, but it's like the audio file is so low fidelity that really you don't miss anything. No, it wasn't 19-year-old Chris. It was 15-year-old Chris. Maybe
Yeah.
16.
15 when we started, but since I didn't get involved with RFC until late November, maybe, I was 16 within a couple months of that.
Okay. So much stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm probably going to run. I got a lot of stuff to do tomorrow.
Oh yeah, I imagine you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Well, see you later, Diecast.
Hi, Diecast.
All right.
Happy
Take
Thanksgiving.
care.
Later,
Yes,
buddy.
happy
See you,
Thanksgiving.
guys.
Yeah,
Yes.
happy Thanksgiving,
Happy
everyone.
Thanksgiving, John. If you're gonna hang around for a minute, tell us about the Street Fighter cabinet.
What about the Street Fighter cabinet?
I mean, not the Street Fighter. I'm sorry, the Marvel cabinet.
Oh, what about the Marvel cabinet?
You like it?
Well, I'm not done yet. I'm probably, let me see here. I'm pretty close. You see?
Have you noticed
Okay.
that? Like, does it feel any different than in any of the other cabinets?
That's a good question. I haven't taken out the joystick board. I can in
I
a
mean, talking
minute.
about the panels and everything, just like the paneling.
No. The cabinet itself feels pretty much like every other arcade one-up cabinet. But as far as like the joysticks and stuff, because it's supposed to have better parts, I can get it out in a second and just kind of click around, click and punch, kick, see if it feels any different. But that's the big thing for me. Oh, one thing that they have gotten a lot better with in their like second or third generation cabinets, and it looks like this one is one of those, is volume and sound. So
Is it
I'm
more
not
than
sure if
just
it's true. I'm not sure if it's true stereo, but they went from one speaker that's in the
Panel.
in the joystick panel to two speakers that are underneath the marquee,
Like it should be.
like it should be, and like volume control. So
I honestly kind of like the switch, like the off, loud, and louder.
I mean,
honestly fine
there's still a switch, but now you have about somewhere between like 5 and 10 increments of volume that you can kind of play with. If that makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense, but like, the more switches you add, it's more points of failure. So I honestly am just
Fair
fine
enough.
with the off, on, and really on.
Yeah, one of the buttons on the Street Fighter cabinet doesn't work for mine. At least one of the buttons. I could fix it, but this feels more like a true representation of a Street Fighter cabinet. Something should be broken on it. So
Which
just
button, like one of the buttons on like the on the
I
control
think
panel?
player two light punch is dead. So I just need to fiddle with it or replace. Whatever.
roundhouse on player 1 was dead for me. I had to
Yeah.
fix that.
But that's the way they were, Brian. Play the
Yeah,
game. Rule 1, no throws.
yeah,
Rule 2, 4 out of the 6 buttons work. Figure them out.
yeah. If replacing the button's super easy.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to throwing a pie in it. Even though I was sort of not before, but
No, I mean, that is one thing about them. Like they're fun vessels for whatever you want to do with them, for sure.
I mean, like again, I already have the one back here that I got last year that I mostly use for like Steam fighting games, but yeah, just something that I can play like Capcom Fighters on easily,
Mhm.
or SNK stuff.
I had my 9-year-old nephew was up here playing the cabinets that I finished a few days ago before we had to, kind of rejigger the holidays. And he was flummoxed by Super Street Fighter 2. Like he couldn't figure, he didn't
It's not
understand
fun.
that this is, no, it's not. But in his brain, he couldn't resolve that there's no logic to this game. It's like rock, paper, scissors. It's like, no, you can't stop trying to think how to play the computer. Like the computer's cheating, and it's just all it is just like rock, paper, scissors. And you can't play. If you're gonna try to play the game, you're gonna lose because it's playing by different rules. And so it's just you have to find some kind of exploit and just do that to advance in the game. So it was interesting. He was overthinking it, and I was just like, no, you just can't it's a bad game, my friend. You just have to if you want to win, you can't have fun and win at Super Street Fighter at the same time.
I'm glad it's not
sorry.
just me.
So, John, we have a hot topic of conversation in the chat right now. Is that room you're in blue or lavender?
Awesome. It's a bluish gray.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I see, not lavender.
It's a bluish gray, but it's also like the bulbs in here are not like soft white or soft light. Like they're tinting it on top of that.
I can see somebody guessing lavender based on the color temperature of their monitor.
Yeah, and the the compression over the stream is probably screwing around with the colors a little bit too. Like on Skype here directly, I'm seeing like a blue gray too. So
yeah, if I change the bulb in the my desk light, I bet it'll read completely different next week.
yeah, probably.
Yeah, if I just get a more true white
Or get like a green bulb or something.
So
yes,
the lighting,
red, a black light.
The lighting in the office here, they're kind of yellowish in tint. I don't know if it's 3000K or whatever, but the light that I have here in front of my camera, or behind the camera in front of me, is like 6000K.
Yeah, it
So
looks
it's
like it.
It's white. And I can change
One other
it.
real quick thing. Adventures in young people playing old video games. So I've got the Ninja Turtles cabinet, right? And there were 4 people up here a couple days ago. So huzzah, we got to play it as it was meant to be played. And so Turtles in Time. So there's the original Konami beat 'em up, and then there's Turtles in Time, the sequel.
Mhm.
And the popular opinion these days, and I think I agree to it. I for the most part agree with it. Turtles in Time is way better. It's like underplayed and underappreciated.
Yeah, it is.
But it's like better, and that's true. It's definitely true that it's technically better. Like the graphics are better. There's more play mechanics. There's more voice samples. Okay, so like it's better. Like the bones of the game have advanced a couple years or so, a year or so. But universally, the 3 kids up here that were playing with me, my nephews and nieces and my daughter, liked the first game way more. They were way more into the first game, and now that I've played through both of them a couple times, I can kind of see that. Like the first game has a charisma that the second, like Turtles in Time, doesn't, and a lot of that has to do, I think, with Bebop and Rocksteady. Like Bebop and Rocksteady are like way more engaging, and the first half of the first game is about rescuing April. Mm-hmm. And they got into that more. They could like follow that kind of like storyline, that thread of like, oh, we're trying to rescue her. And Bebop and Rocksteady, like we have to like fight them, a few times. And they're way more engaging than Leatherhead. Sorry.
Oh, God,
and like Leatherhead and Metalhead. And there was just this charisma to the game. And even though it is like not as good looking or sounding or even playing, they liked it way more. I thought that was like pretty interesting. So it was like the characters. It was like the characters in the story, like that drove them to the first game.
I don't really think. I mean, I've never sat down and compared them side by side, or I've never done an A/B test. But like playing them, they look about the same to me. Honestly, I would have thought that Turtles in Time used the same attributes or the same assets as.
I don't know if they reuse anything. I don't know if anything's recycled that I can think of. It has like scaling in it.
The first one's got scaling.
Well, like you can like with the foot soldiers, you can throw them at the screen.
That's how you have to. That's the first. The first game has that. That's how you have to beat Shredder.
No, it's not. In the first game,
Yeah.
I mean, you can't. I mean, you just like mash on him. Like when Shredder's like cloning himself,
like where he's in the gun, and or whatever, like he's shooting at you, mm-hmm. and you have to.
Oh well, I mean, what I guess I mean is like not just scaling, but like you're throwing characters like at the screen, like at the player, and so there's that kind of like there's that. Like,
yeah, that's the first game. The first game has that.
They scale. Are you sure?
Yeah. I got all the way to Shredder in the arcade game, and that's. I don't think I'm confusing that for Turtles in Time. I
think you are.
At the end of Turtles in Time, you face Super Shredder.
Hold on.
Because they stole the Statue of Liberty, which they don't really explain why they did that, but they did. That's the crux of Turtles in Time. They steal the Statue of Liberty, and then they send the turtles back in time as like a defense for that, to like, I don't know, send you on wacky adventures. But in the first game, it's just straight up like rescuing April and Splinter.
Yeah.
Who are characters. So it's way more interesting.
I mean, maybe I am wrong. I could have swore. Here's what I'm thinking of. Which game is this? Oh, it's Turtles in Time. Okay, I'm totally wrong. It was. Okay, yeah, that's Turtles in Time.
The moral of the story is Turtles in Time is kind of boring, but it looks really good and sounds good. But I don't know. They get it right with Bebop and Rocksteady.
Yeah, I want that cabinet. That's the only. Since I'm going to do the MAME thing, or the Patty thing, I think that may be the only outstanding cabinet I want to get. Just for the
someday
players.
they might do X-Men, but a 6-player arcade 1-up game would look pretty dumb.
Oh man, that'd be as wide as it was tall.
Well, so like with the Turtles one, the only thing that is not like a standard issue arcade 1-up
The panel.
cabinet is just the panel. Yeah, the panel is just
wide.
like a double wide 4-player panel, and it's got the advancement on the sound, 2 speakers and all.
Now, I would get an arcade 1-up cocktail cabinet if it had a third joystick, so that I could play games in the standard 4:3 horizontal orientation instead of having to play everything in vertical. I just can't. I can't do that, especially considering it's only like a 17-inch screen. You're giving up just more real estate effectively at that point. Can't do it.
How are you feeling, Rob?
Better.
Yeah.
I'm getting there. I'm pretty much am able to do everything I need to do around the house now. So I'm managing. Tonight I'm just a little bit out of it because I had a flu shot a couple of days ago, and it's just hit me a little harder than I expected. But other than that, I'm doing okay.
Nice. Cool.
Yeah, it's nice to actually be able to do things instead of sit here and watch my poor brother break his back doing it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, one other one that I would get would be the Star Wars cabinet. And I was against that before because playing the vector games on LCD didn't seem to have the same appeal. But I actually loaded up Star Wars and MAME, and I actually enjoyed it. Right now, the Star Wars arcade cabinet is $400 on Walmart as opposed to the $500 price point.
How much is it usually?
$5.
Oh. They're milking Star Wars fans hot. It's got that,
It's got. It's bespoke. Hardware, and also the licensing costs are probably astronomical.
True. That's true too.
One up about Run. That would be fun.
A driving compilation would be fun. But the thing is, like a lot of those like vintage or those old school driving games, the cabinet is like unique and part of it. Like Stun Runner and Outrun cannot be like shoved on the same cabinet for the same experience. I don't know how you resolve that.
I don't know. I always thought about buying like a busted like a Ridge Racer cabinet and turning it into a MAME racer. But I just never had maybe if I had a bigger house. But
do they still do Ridge Racer? Is that still a franchise that's alive?
Not really. Let's see, the last one that came out. There's one on the Xbox 360. There might have been another one since. But I love Ridge Racer. Ridge Racer Revolution is one of my all-time favorite games. That's the second one on the PlayStation. It's kind of sort of a version of Ridge Racer 2, the arcade game. Most people are like, they love Rage Racer more, or R4. And I like Rage Racer and I like R4, but to me, the one that the most pure Ridge Racer experience, the full of arcade racer goodness, is the second one. I love that game so much.
Yeah, I remember when that was like the franchise for a while.
Yeah,
For racing.
playing Ridge Racer though, especially the first 3, because I think that you had to use the NedgeCon controller to have analog. Playing those on a control pad sucks, because you have to basically emulate like how analog works by tapping there's a lot of tapping of the control pad. I ended up getting the NedgeCon, but I just never use it.
I mean, I guess now there's like the 2 racing franchises are GTA 5 if you want to race, because everybody's on GTA 5, and then Gran Turismo.
I thought that actually the most popular one now was Microsoft's one, whatever it is.
Forza.
I thought Forza had surpassed
It might
Gran
be.
Turismo.
It might be. Gran Turismo is like, I think Gran Turismo is still the one that people basically use as a tech demo. Like whenever there's like a new generation of PlayStation or whatnot, there's always a Gran Turismo just to show off the system.
Yeah, I genuinely really love the Forza games. I really like the Forza Horizon games. I mean, they're still not arcadey enough for me.
Mm-hmm.
But the Forza stuff's really great. It makes me not like having that series. It really makes it easier for me not to have a PlayStation. I haven't had a PlayStation since the second one.
Wow.
Yeah,
You're missing out, man.
yeah. I don't really. There's like hardly anything on the PlayStation that I really would want that I can't get between my Xbox and a PC. I mean, Street Fighter V's not on the Xbox, but I honestly play my PC more than anything anyway. So
Yeah, you can get on PC, and also don't worry about Street Fighter 5. You're okay. 6 is around the corner anyway. 6 is probably a year and a half away, maybe something like that.
Jared's like, there's so many series that deserve a second chance. F-Zero. I feel like F-Zero GX or whatever just came out, but that was on the GameCube.
Yeah.
So it didn't just come out.
Didn't they just do... Have they not done an F-Zero in a while? Am I crazy?
I don't know, but you don't need another one after that one. That's the one Sega made, right?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. Star Fox 2, that's all you need. It's out. Mega Man. Can't help you there. I mean, Mega Man 9 is good. 10.
Mega Man 11 sold like 1 million copies.
I have it. I can't tell you much about it. I wasn't too crazy
get rid
about
of
it.
12. Well, 12's coming now.
Skies of Arcadia, never played it. Paper Mario, I thought a new one came out. Darkstalkers, yes, agree there. Daytona USA 1 and 2. I would love to have Daytona 2. I don't even know if that came out on a console. It didn't, did it?
There's a new Daytona in arcades.
Really?
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, there's a new in the last couple of years. There's been a cruising game, and like this last summer was a Daytona game.
Is cruising still on the same old hardware?
Yes.
You know, actually, I think I played the cruising game at a local arcade fun center. But my favorite thing that I played though was the racing wise was the Mario Kart arcade cabinet. They had them networked together so you could race each other. That was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the arcade Mario Kart games are all really good. They're really fun.
Yeah, I mean, I was never a Mario Kart guy, but I finally picked up Mario Kart 8 for the Switch, and I've become a convert.
Yeah, it's fun. For sure.
I got back. I have 7 and now I have 64.
That's one of those games that is just really easy to pick up. You do a circuit, it's fun. It's like 6 minutes, whatever it is, to like do it, and you just like walk away from it. It's awesome.
Man, I don't know how I'm going to find time this 7 whole minutes to make that ham tomorrow.
Right?
God.
That pressure cooker is the best purchase ever.
Yeah, but what's the charge up time on the pressure cooker?
Like 5 minutes or 12 minutes total.
Oh, that's not bad.
And what I'm going to use is the liquid cheerwine. It's what I like. Before I go to bed, I need to slice it and put it in a bag, and then douse it in cheerwine so it can sit overnight. Consider getting Double Dash DS and the Wii too. I should do that. You're exactly right. I really should.
You know, one thing I haven't done with my Switch is so I got the Super Nintendo, whatever they call it, Nintendo service, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And I haven't touched it.
I haven't touched it in months.
Those are some of the greatest games ever. But I haven't been compelled to even like just play like 5 minutes of Super Metroid just for the hell of it. No, I haven't touched it.
So let me see what's actually on it, because I haven't turned it on in a while. I have to update.
On the Super Nintendo library?
Yeah. So is this the Hori pad that I've added? I think it's the Hori one. Yes, the Hori Pro pad thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So that you can not have to deal with the horrible buttons, the horrible D-pad on the Switch. The Switch D-pad is ridiculous. I mean, this looks absurd, but it's way better. Let me see. I don't even know what games are on it right now. Checking if the software can be played. It's been a while since I turned this on. I haven't played Breath of the Wild for more than 5 minutes. I think I'm going to play my Wii U version. I'm pretty sure I ordered it on Wii U.
What? So you've played that game like that? That is as much time as you spent with that game. Period.
Yeah.
That's a crime, dude.
I felt like I need to finish Wind Waker first.
Okay.
Which, honestly, before I finish Wind Waker, I really need to finish what was the second N64 game?
Majora's Mask.
Majora's Mask. I need to finish that one too.
Well, you can get that for 3DS if you need.
I have it. Shoot. Wait. This is only showing. Oh, that's because there's an SNES and a NES version.
Yes.
Okay. I'm like, where are my NES games? Okay, let's see what NES game has been added recently, because I'm more likely to play that. Boom. Okay. Ooh, okay, Gradius, Kung Fu Heroes, Vice. I think these are the old games. Maybe they're not. Oh no, those are the newer ones. Those are bigger. Donkey Kong 3, Mighty Bomb Jack, Twin Bee, Double Dragon 2. Yeah. City Connection has like the best cover art ever. I just love that.
Yeah. Well, and then you play the game.
Versus Excite Bike, The Lost Levels, Star Soldier, Special Edition of Kid Icarus.
Yeah. Puyo, that's all you need.
Yes. Blaster Master.
I could never get into Puyo, but that's mostly just because like I couldn't figure out how to get good at it. And, you know, if you can't like play it competently, it's not fun.
I have the same problem with that.
The game I've played more than anything, though, on this NES service is baseball. It's like the second worst game on it. But it was my first NES game.
Those were the days when sports games were just called the sport.
Yeah.
Let's play some wrestling. Let's play some golf. Wrestling for the Sega Master System, I loved that game.
I don't know that I've ever played it.
I mean, you can go, you know, it can be played.
Why is Stunt Race FX on this service?
ROMs can be had. But, yeah, I just remember that game was awesome. And Choplifter on Sega Master System was a really good port.
What's this? I don't even know. Act Against AIDS. What? That's interesting. I really
It's a good message.
Yeah, I really want. It's just interesting. I didn't expect that on the SNES game when I loaded it up. That's like more like something you see in an arcade.
Let's see here. They did just put out on the NES, the NES service, like one of the progenitors of the fighting game genre. Did you see that article, Rob? It was like a Kotaku article. I'm just throwing out that maybe Rob Clay saw it too. But they're like one of the first ever games structured like a fighting game. They put it super like obscure and they loaded it to Switch. Actually, it's not on that service. I think it's like $5 or something on the Switch. So it's like one of the new releases. But it's like one of the first video games ever to have like, two characters against each other and life bars on the screen and all that jazz. Very interesting.
Yeah, I missed that one. I'll have to take a look.
Yeah, it's super interesting. And I think it's not like localized or anything. I mean, they just put the title on Switch.
So Neschalk just walked in. Hey, so your name dropped in the show because I talked about that Optimus, and you don't need big powered.
Well, I think my logic is more sound here. He needs it for 25% off more than he needs it at full price.
Oh crap! I got more on this than I thought. So I have that Fallout Shelter, which I've never played. Shovel Knight, Sonic Mania.
You should get Untitled Goose Game.
Oh yes, I should. I don't know why I don't have that already.
I played that when I was at Hey Mickey's house last month, and it's probably not something I would own myself because you can totally sit down for an afternoon and go through basically the whole thing. But spread over a longer stretch of time, smaller bursts, you would probably end up playing it. You would get a better $20 experience out of it just because you would have more time with it. But I could sit down and go through the whole thing in 5 hours.
Mm.
It's fun though. There's all kinds of ways to be an asshole as a goose, which I'm repeating myself, obviously.
I have Fortnite. I didn't even know that.
I mean, it's free, so you probably just downloaded it by accident.
Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe. I need to play that. They need to put Mario 3D World on this, so I don't have to play the Wii U. Actually, if they put that, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker, I probably could just get rid of my Wii U and donate it to the kids or something.
Doesn't they have on the Switch New Super Mario Brothers or something like that? They have maybe I think the Wii game.
Yeah,
something
it's
that.
the New Super Mario Brothers Deluxe Wii U version.
Okay.
Or New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe is what I'm trying to say.
You ever think it was just bad with naming conventions?
Yeah.
It was cute when we went from the Nintendo Entertainment System to Super Nintendo and everything became super whatever. Fine, that makes sense. Doing it again with 64 is kind of iffy, and then at least the GameCube stuff wasn't, whatever title cube or whatever.
I liked the Game Boy. Everything was just a miniature version of the NES.
Mm-hmm.
It's instead of Super Mario World, it's Super Mario Land.
Yeah.
There were a few games that had GC in their title, and a couple that had a D that were developed back when it was called Dolphin.
Sentence.
Found it.
Hmm?
I'll paste that article in here for for anyone interested. It was on Polygon, not Kotaku.
Aren't they the same thing?
Polygon and Kotaku?
Yeah, I thought they were. I thought they consolidated down to
Oh, I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, I've heard of this, but
Hey, people watching live.
It's super interesting.
people watching live, I'm gonna have to go ahead and kill the stream for technical reasons. We will see you next week. We love you. Thank you for being here. Have a happy